Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins, this is October, the best of UFO videos from around the world. So buckle up. You're in for a wild ride tonight. Coming in from Russia, we speculate we're trying to track down the exact location, but we're here with the gang tonight. My brother Brent, Apollo Asteria, and Dr. J tuning in from Los Angeles right now. And we're looking at something that is coming to Third Phase of Moon, and we want to get your thoughts right now. We've got a lot to talk about, including a world premiere of one of our passion projects. But first, let's get to this UFO. Brent, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is pretty good. We got a full broad daylight sighting of looking at, apparently, is a UFO floating above this building next to this cell phone tower, if that's what we're looking at. But I have some doubts in this video. It all looks good. Some people may say this is legit, and they might be right. We're looking at this close-up of this oscillating light just kind of blinking underneath, but some of the telltale signs of this, it looks like this thing's maybe inserted in with After Effects. It has this little jittery quality. It's not holding itself in the sky. Could this be a possible hoax?
Yeah, I think the pulsing light under this is definitely very interesting, and it doesn't really seem quite like a flying saucer, even though when you look at it at first it looks like that, but there seems to be this like part on the side, and if you look at this here, this is kind of a photo of a comparison of something that looks very similar that was taken.
Yeah, so when you're looking at this and seeing the comparisons, whatever this object is, maybe being captured around the world. Dr. J?
I think this is a fantastic sighting. Obviously, it's daylight. It's above the building. You even have that pole, that radio pole, whatever it is, for some reference. It looks like a classic flying saucer. It doesn't look like the sport model, but there's like 30 different types of flying saucers in the UFO chart. I personally think this is probably real.
Well, again, we're sharing it with you right now. I'm appreciating everybody here tonight giving their opinions of what we're looking at. Again, I'm looking at this. I see that pulsating light underneath the craft, and you see this reflection of the sun onto whatever, if this craft is up there, refracting sunlight off the hull of its base. So what we're looking at here is still up for speculation.
That's for sure, Blake. And again, where's the before video and the after video? We don't see this thing take off. We don't see anything at all. So I'm still leaning on a hoax on this one. Next, we got a good video here. I think this is legit.
Okay, what we're looking at here seems to be, at first when you look at it, a light shining through the clouds. Maybe a portal. I mean, it seems to be about 400, 500 feet high. And is this a physical object? Because honestly, I don't think it's physical. Maybe it's something not of this world.
When we're looking at this, again, you bring up some great points. There's just this spectrum of light here, and we're not seeing any kind of hull of a craft or metallic nature of anything that would be conventional. This seems just to be energy, Brent.
Yeah, if that's the case, we're looking at something translucent in the sky. We don't see any kind of vehicle supporting it. It's just, like you said, this light that's just illuminated up there. Again, I think this is legit footage. People might think this is maybe some sort of reflection with maybe off a window showcasing some light in the background. But I'm believing that this is actually up there in the sky. Could it be just some natural phenomenon of a cloud getting clipped off the sun in a perfect position to light this thing up? I don't think so, John.
I got 3 points. The last point I'm going to address what you kind of said. It's possible. People have reported that these things could be part in now and where we are, and part in another place, like their home time, almost like 2 separate dimensions. Now, another important thing I want to mention is this also fits with what Bob Lazar said in '89. When you have something producing a very high voltage electricity, and then you have a gaseous atmosphere, like ours, oxygen, nitrogen, and things like that, hydrogen, then you produce this glow. And thirdly, I want to say this is very similar to a famous footage from 1995 from Vegas, where a contactee named Aubrey Ames filmed something similar for 30 minutes all over Vegas, culminating in a high-speed chase.
A good insight there, Dr. J. Appreciate that. Again, a lot of information coming into Third Phase Moon. We've got it for you right now. Let's roll the next one. Take a look at this. Brent, you showed this to us just a few moments ago. We're sharing it with the world right now. We've been sharing this phenomenon, a beam of light, something coming in, and it's doing a lightning storm. Is this some kind of holographic projection experiment going on, or are we looking at something in the clouds?
Or some people might even say like Project Bluebeam. We're looking at this and it's illuminating, like you said, a huge amount of the atmosphere, and then it glows red, and then you see these dancing lights just kind of circle around it. This is captured in France. So again, if anybody was in that vicinity, we'd like to see more of this video, but this is apparently in a remote region where you're not looking at a concert or trying to be some sort of entertainment factor. What we're looking at here is something kind of strange, to say the least.
Yeah, this definitely does not seem natural to me. You see this light kind of moving back and forth above the clouds before what seems like a laser beam comes out and, shoots towards the ground. So, it really doesn't seem quite natural. And I'm wondering, there's so much, this brings to mind for me the weather that has been happening around the world that's been getting really crazy and out of control lately. Like, maybe is this something to do with weather modification technology?
If this isn't some sort of technology of ours, then maybe this is an abduction in progress. What if the craft is returning a cow or a human back to Earth, or taking them? Now let's show everybody the next footage, the TR3B.
We're letting the footage roll. Apparently, a TR-3B captured at night, traversing behind a mountainside, releasing other kind of probe droids, drones, from basically what you would call kind of a mothership. Are we looking at something ET in nature, a massive hoax, or some kind of military experimental program happening right now? Brett, your first thoughts on this?
Yeah, we're adding some stabilization to this so we can see, trying to figure out if the quality of everything we're looking at is indeed real. And so far, this is going to catch a lot of people's attention. And we've seen the TR-3B, and it definitely had this kind of characteristic. Again, I'm still a little bit on the fence on this one. I do like that it seems like somebody pulled out the camera, captured this thing, and waited till the event was over. So that's all good, but is this too good to be true?
I'm not sure. I mean, this could definitely very possibly be the Aurora, the TR-3B. But, these little flashy things that seem like scouts that are kind of coming out of the ship or, surrounding the ship, what really brings to mind for me is something that we all witnessed together at Area 51. We saw around this time last year, these sort of orange lights in the sky that were kind of coming up around the base, and it kind of had a similar effect to this. So I don't know. I'm wondering if this is some sort of government technology that's hasn't been quite introduced.
I can go either way. Whether this be human, whether it be our military test with 3 drones watching it, or the fact that it's releasing something bigger than the other drones around it and different in color. What if this is ET, with ET drones watching it, and what is being released is something that survey the Earth?
Again, the scout ships around it is fascinating. That's exactly what we saw too. So there is this kind of a phenomenon when people do witness a TR-3B. Could it be ours or reverse engineered? That's a big question. But most eyewitnesses always do say that there's these kind of like lights that circle around the TR-3B, and that's what we're looking at here. But again, this one again has these qualities to me that I'm still a little on the fence.
You know, I'm liking the stabilized video that we're able to get a good close look at this, and there's some still photos of, again, what looks to be drones coming off a triangular craft. Is it up there in the sky? That's the big question. I know tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people, I'm sure people watching right now, have witnessed the TR-3B for themselves, so we know it's out there. Is this what we're looking at? Again, we're going to get some more research, and if we find out more on this video, we'll let you know. We'll keep you updated.
Well, the most important thing is for everybody watching this right now to decide what you guys think. After all, that's what Third Phase of Moon does. For the last 13 years I've been working with them, they put footage out for you to decide. Now, don't you guys have another video for us to see?
Well, there is this, again, more footage of what people are saying is reverse engineered technology. This person, again, this episode, we decided to let the profanity roll. People are experiencing this in real time, and sometimes you just want to hear their expression, their speech pattern. So in this one, we're gonna just let it roll raw and just let it play out the way it was experienced by the person who was seeing the phenomenon. So this one is interesting, Dr. J, and the rest of the panels. This guy's driving down a freeway, and he sees something strange in the sky. And again, we've been talking about this, people driving and filming UFOs. Here it is.
Just blinking with lights. Okay. Boys, I don't know what I'm looking at right now, but there's a fucking... something's just floating in the air with lights. I'm not even kidding. I'm trying to get a good angle here. What is that? What am I looking at? Hang on here. Hang on. Go in the sunroof. What is that? Just blinking with lights. Okay.
So we're going to roll this, get a closer look. We're deeming this 100% authentic. No manipulation whatsoever. It's in the sky. The question is, what is it? And we're going to get some enhancements, and I'm not seeing a tip of a triangle. It almost looks like a TR-3B, but I'm not seeing the tip of it, but it's just stationary up in the sky. It shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I can see this guy really had a struggle to get the shot. We give him credit because he's dodging traffic, he's going around corners, and then you kind of get a look at it, and it gives a lot of detail when he focuses in on it right above the lines there. Again, we got, this looks like one of ours. I gotta admit that, but looks unconventional. Doesn't look like anything on the market. This is definitely unidentified. It's a cool sighting.
Yeah, what I think is amazing about this one is that this definitely seems very legit. This person is driving around, really trying to get this out the window, going around different streets and capturing it. And, it definitely looks like, at first, to me, it seemed like it had FAA lights, but now that I look at it closer, I think it's something different, but maybe it is one of ours.
Well, we know these things can change shape, and also the perception can make it look like they're changing shape because of the gravity field around them. Now, to me, this looks like the wedge from the 47 Roswell crash. And let me say one last thing. Ever since people started smashing atoms in the CERN and creating little black holes, we've had a massive influx of UFOs. Is it a coincidence?
Right now, we're looking at something captured at 30,000 feet. A passenger aboard a commercial airliner manages to capture something that is unexplained. What are we looking at, Brent?
You could see the mountain region in the background. And again, this is this this person's probably about 30,000 feet, and then what other object we're looking at is probably about 15,000 feet below them. And look how this odd anomaly, the refraction of light kicking off of it from the sun, this is nothing I've ever seen. It doesn't look... can you give me a reason how this could fly? I see no wings. I see no any engine aftermath from it. No contrail. This thing's just moving along steady. Great footage.
Absolutely, Brent. And we're looking at this, and I'm getting a close-up. I'm trying to make out any kind of structure, if there is indeed any, and I'm not seeing it. I'm looking at something that just seems to be illuminated, some kind of energy, pure energy, in my opinion. Maybe something that is with regards to natural phenomenon, weather phenomenon. I don't think so. I think we're looking at something that is not of this world. That's why we're here at Third Phase Moon, trying to get the answers for you to know that we're not alone in the universe. Apparently, NASA's going to come up with something in a couple weeks stating that they found it. We'll see about that. I'm sure it's going to be a bunch of hype, but they're not going to give us the answers we deserve. And in tonight's episode, we're going to be sharing with you incredible footage from NASA themselves. Pretty much mind-blowing, smoking gun, that proof that we're not alone in this universe. But right now, if you were aboard a commercial airliner at 30,000 feet and you're looking out your window, looking down, and you see something like this, pull out your camera. I'm just wondering what the passenger thought while they filmed this, or even the pilots. We've had a lot of FAA pilots come forward to Third Phase of Moon to share their footage. So if you are a pilot out there, don't hesitate. Share it to Third Phase of Moon. We'll share it to the world. Now, again, I want to get your thoughts with regards to this sighting. It's quite incredible. We've got weather phenomenon right now. Take a look at this. So I like it when people are keeping their eyes on the weather around us. And let me tell you, it gets very, very strange. And we're seeing some kind of shadow coming off what looks to me maybe some kind of rocket launch. And what's interesting to me, I'm not seeing any rocket, but this shadow that stands out seems to go high in the atmosphere, maybe up to the memosphere, maybe about 90 miles plus. It's just interesting, the shadow beam, probably natural phenomenon. The weather definitely gets weird, but we sure like to share this stuff at Third Phase Moon. Look at how it just wraps across the sky there, this dark shadow. Brent, what do you make of this?
Yeah, pretty amazing weather phenomenon, especially the casting of the shadow right there. Again, look at how this point of action is directly at the center of the sun, right there below there. That's what I find very impressive. The chances of getting a shot like this is almost like 1 in a million. This person that got this was in the perfect spot to capture this phenomenon in action. Blake made a good point. Like, could this be maybe a tell? The propulsion of a rocket and its aftermath being left in the sky, and then this is what's left, or maybe even a chemtrail of a plane going over the horizon there. Again, these are the questions we're all asking right now, but the way it produces this, again, casting of a shadow along the sky, all just from, it's a 360 point of view. This is amazing.
It's interesting looking at this once again. It's just in the angle that makes this perfect to have the shadow. You have the sun setting. You have what seems to be, again, propulsion left over from a rocket launch, or maybe something else. I'm not exactly sure. But then again, you're seeing this shadow that casts across the sky. And it's interesting to see the phenomenon as it comes in from people like you from around the world that is capturing this and sharing it to everybody. That's what it's all about. It's quite exciting. And let me tell you, there's some new footage that has just been coming out, right, Brent? This leaked. There's 2 leaked photos of the jellyfish once again making a comeback. I'm not exactly sure. All I know is that we've been sharing with you the jellyfish. Is it the jetpack man? Is it something biological? I'm not exactly sure, but right now we're going to share with you these photos that have just leaked. They've kind of breaking the internet right now. And again, I want to get your thoughts. Here's the first photo coming in of something that looks biological, if you ask me. Look at these tentacles here.
Yeah, this just came in. It broke yesterday. Chaos Mughal was the one that received these photos, and apparently there's a 5-second clip of this actually in motion, and we haven't received it. I don't know if Chaos has yet, but we're hoping for that. Again, this is apparently captured over Afghanistan, and we've seen the jellyfish in war regions and a video. Now, if we see video of this is gonna blow everybody away, but right now I'm a little on the fence. But again, look at what we're looking at. The quality's clear. It's basically as clear as day. We see all sorts of detail and these tentacles that are just protruding out of this silver ball. Is it actually reflecting the atmosphere and the surrounding area itself, or could these maybe just be AI generated images to fool the masses? It's getting pretty rampant out there, and people are gonna have to keep a really keen eye to disseminate AI from actual real video and photo evidence. But here's the next photo of the same object apparently, and you see at the bottom that it has at 0.5 seconds if you press play, and apparently this is in motion again over Afghanistan. Again, we need to see the video.
Absolutely. It's interesting as we're going to get a closer look from, it seems possibly the same video, a matter of moments, and then we're getting this imagery, still frames from a 5-second video. I'm wondering why is it just 5 seconds? Is interesting to me. But once again, we're looking at this, and I think this is pretty much the clearest we've seen the jellyfish, the UFO. Like it's in your face, and people are worried about, once again, manipulated AI or CGI videos. I got a feeling this video is gonna drop here pretty soon, and I'm leaning towards authentic. But once again, we want to get your opinions. Again, we're looking at the first video. Is this maybe some amped up weather balloon? That's a big question, and it doesn't look like one I've ever seen before, obviously.
Yeah, when people say it's not one of ours, this is kind of the perfect example of these drone machines that doesn't look like it's in our assets. These things look otherworldly, just the way it's built, and the strangeness about it just fascinates me and everybody else that I think is watching this right now.
Now, more videos coming into Third Phase of Moon, and this one is an interesting one, captured by an amateur astronomer lucky enough to see and film the phenomenon. It really doesn't get much better than this. And look at the scope of this craft and the moon itself. It's high up there. It's incredible.
It's been wrapping up here right at third phase, and people are going to say, could this be the new Space Force revealing itself in front of the moon, highlighted by the white full moon that we're seeing right here? Whatever this object is, it's huge, and it's able to be picked up by his incredible camera that he's capturing this amazing UFO phenomenon. Could this be, some people might say, an airplane way up there, high up, 34,000 feet, leaving a contrail? I don't think so. This looks more like you can see it's holding its position. There's no dissipation of this chemtrail. If that's what it is, it seems like one solid object, and it looks like a sword.
Yet some people are speculating right now that this could be a kite. I would have to highly disagree with them on this. We've seen a lot of videos in regards to people shooting the moon, but we haven't seen this phenomenon before. If this is indeed a jet airliner leaving a trail behind it, some kind of contrail, it stays very stable in its trail. It's not dissipating whatsoever. It seems that whatever it is a solid tail behind it. Again, maybe it's some kind of secret Space Force experiment going on in outer space?
Some people may speculate that this could be a huge space station closer to the moon than we actually expect. If this is in outer space, this thing would be miles long. Some people might speculate that the Space Force is being engineered through alien technology, and this is what we're seeing right here.
It's interesting to note that if this were close to the surface of the moon, would it even be able to be picked up by amateur astronomers with their lenses? We're not seeing any shadow dispersed on the surface of the moon, so it's hard to tell exactly what this is. Is this next to the ISS? Is this maybe the ISS? Not exactly sure, but again, it's very bizarre. I'm thinking that it is within our atmosphere, but how high is the altitude? How large is this craft, and what is it pulling behind it? I'm not exactly sure, but incredible footage coming in, and I want to thank people that are submitting their footage to us as we ask them. And while Brian Burke captured something incredible, we want to find out what it is. But again, the UFO videos keep coming in. We've got another one for you. Let's just roll it. Is there weather manipulation going on? NASA seems to have captured it in broad daylight. Via a 116 millimeter lens, something was captured that seems to have ripped the sky in shreds. What is going on here? We're going to be supplying the original links below, so you can take a look for yourself exactly what NASA captured from the ISS, the International Space Station, approximately about 226 nautical miles up in space, and they captured this in the Atlantic. And we have these multiple photographs that we're going over right now. And is this some kind of a secret sonic weapon that we're not aware of? We want to get your comments below, and let's just take a look at these pictures for a little bit. Brett, I want to get your thoughts here.
Yeah, these are some of the best images I've seen of NASA this past couple months.
We're looking at an incredible video captured from the ISS, and Mary Hall has her eye on the sky, and she was watching the ISS as this was going live, and she noticed something out of this world, and we're pointing it out to you in clarity. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, guys? This is amazing stuff. Look at this. A formation of orbs cutting through the clouds and leaving a wake. What the heck is going on here? Let me tell you, this is a very bizarre. This was just captured a few days ago, and let me tell you, I think it's something in regards to the unknown. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, but what is being captured here from the ISS is very bizarre, and it defies any explanation that we know of right now. And I want to get your thoughts of what is going on, because after we look at some of the evidence that we're going to be going over tonight, it's going to leave you pretty much so we're looking at this video a little closer, and I want to point out to you, there are a massive amount of orbs going out, and I really can't explain what's creating the cut through the clouds. If there is some kind of frequency that shock waves the clouds, whatever these things are, they're ripping it up, and I'm looking at it in real time. This is a flyby over Earth from ISS. Brent, what do you make of this? What could cause this kind of formation in the skies?
Yeah, I want to thank Mary Hall for this submission. She nailed it. This is some of the best stuff I've seen from the ISS in the last couple weeks. So great job. What we're looking at is something fantastic. Some could almost say these are Tic Tacs that are cutting a pattern, a vector right through the clouds. It's amazing. You can see that even from such a high vantage point from the ISS, this is seen clearly on camera right now. what we're looking at is simply astonishing.
Still have yet to be explained. These craft harnessing the energy from the sun, and the propulsion behind it looks very similar to the sun blast video of something cutting through the sun and breaking out through the other side. Could these be objects that exist in our solar system that are creating some kind of energy that we have never seen before, and SOHO and NASA are capturing this? As you just stated, Brent, just a little earlier ago, that NASA's capturing this stuff from the ISS via these vectors, but look at these shapes and crafts that are kind of creating vectors behind it as it leaves a wake crossing the sun. So again, there's something out there that is beyond imagination, and some of these crafts are the size of planets. And then when you compare it to this great shot from this thing shooting through the sun, in and out, like a bullet through the sun, leaving a plasmic wake behind it, it's very amazing just to behold the incredible video. But then when you compare it to the SOHO NASA footage, it resembles the exact same thing. You see this craft bursting out the other side of the sun. Is it going through it, or is it just leaving a tail behind it? These things are moving fast. Look at this incredible image. Brent, what do you make of this?
Yeah, look at that photo. It's stunning. Look at the length of this, whatever starcraft that it is. And then again, the close-up of whatever this object is piercing the sun. And look how it leaves this plasmic trail as it comes out the other side. It's fantastic. Again, look at this photo. It kind of matches, again, a starcraft. And these are real photos. It's hard to wrap your mind around that this could be actually real, but maybe it is. And I'm believing that there's something out there next to the sun harnessing the energy, because why wouldn't they? If they could get here from another galaxy or anything like that, why wouldn't they be able to use the sun as easy energy depots?
And you look at this photo and the side-by-side comparison with the video, these craft do appear to be shooting across the sun. And again, these are coming in from NASA themselves, the technology behind SOHO. And then we have imagery from people on planet Earth capturing what seems to be the same craft that SOHO's capturing with their lenses. So there is a big mystery. And again, NASA has a lot of explaining to do in 2021. And I got a feeling they're probably going to keep it up. They're going to be doing what they always do. Never a straight answer, in my opinion. Crazy weather phenomenon and the new UFO sightings just into third phase of moon. Buckle up. Let's do this.
Que los muchachos me estaban llamando a la escuela, que si no había peligro para acá, que la escuela todo el mundo asombrado.
Pepe me llamó,
Eso es agua que está saliendo arriba ahí, mira, para chuparlo para arriba.
Para que llueva. ¿Viste eso, Pepe me llamó.
Happening in Cuba, people managed to capture something that is unlike any kind of weather system that I've ever seen. It doesn't look like a tornado or a spout. This is something that's just kind of strange. It looks like it's just dumping water, like a waterfall out of the clouds. Weather phenomenon manipulated. I'm not exactly sure. Dr. J?
You actually took the words out of my mouth. It's absolutely not a tornado, not a water spout at all. If anything, what if this is some sort of portal? We know it's not weather related. Nothing in nature does this, and look how stable it is.
Yeah, it's amazing. Blake, that's a big question. Is this just a column of water falling from the sky? That's exactly what it looks like, or it's just a natural water spout? It's up to you to decide. More UFO videos coming in. Check this out.
We're looking at some kind of transparent cylindrical UFO just hovering through the clouds at an extreme rate of speed. It's not undulating like any balloon that I'm aware of. This thing is kind of crazy. It's captured at 30,000 feet from a passenger aboard a major airliner looking out their window, and they see this. I would be saying, what the heck is that?
Yeah, it almost looks like a fuselage off a rocket, but that's definitely not what we're looking at. We're looking at something undeniably a phenomenon because nobody could explain what this is. This is a fantastic UFO captured at 30,000 feet. You could just see it glowing as it's drifting through the clouds. And like you said, this is not oscillating. Dr. J, your opinion on this one?
You know, rocket is what first came to my mind because you have a cone on one end, it's flat on the other end. It looks like the upper third of a rocket, but the weird thing is, it's not falling like a rocket. It's not going any way that our physics or our aerodynamics would, dictate it goes. The fact that it's drifting from side to side at such a high altitude, obviously we don't see any rotors, we don't see any blades, we don't see any means of propulsion. It doesn't look like a balloon. This is very weird indeed.
We've got more UFOs in right now. Check it out.
Mira, ve, güey, cómo se ve todo pixeleado.
Güey, estaba suspendida acá, güey. ¿Por qué no lo haces con tu celular? Si es nada más. ¿Será que parece
Captured in South America, passengers pull over on the side of the road. They get out of their car and begin to film some kind of metallic spiky sphere hovering in the sky. We've got so many videos in this episode tonight. It's getting wild here, and I'm looking at this and I have no explanation. This thing is a perfect circle and it looks metallic, and you see these spikes, these ridges coming off of it. Just recently, Dr. J posted something very similar to this just a couple days on his channel, YouTube channel, Dr. J Radio Live.
You hit it right on the head. Exactly. This looks like the still that I obtained a few days ago that I covered on my channel. I compared it to when you go to a grocery store or a mall and you have those vending machines where you put a quarter in and you get those sticky little balls. That's exactly what this looks like. This very well could be the video where the still originated from. Now, I've heard since I posted this video, one of the comments from someone who is a contactee says this is a quote, fix-it ship, unquote, whatever that means.
Fix-it ship. I never heard of that one before. That's very curious. Again, we're looking at something in the sky. Blake said it looks metallic. Dr. J says it looks like these, things they could squish. In my opinion, this thing almost looks biological. Just something up there in the sky, almost lifelike, just some weird biological creature that we've never seen before.
The videos just keep getting crazier and crazier. Over the week, we've been posting them pretty much on a daily basis, and things are wrapping up around the world, and we're sharing it. I want to get your thoughts with regards to this possible biological UFO. Is it metallic? Is it some kind of surveillance drone? Or is it simply mundane, a balloon? I don't think so. I'm rolling that out, and I'm rolling out any kind of CGI either. This is legitimate UFO footage. And like I said, we've got a lot of them for you tonight. So let's roll the next one right now. Did we just witness a TR-3B captured at night, just cutting through the clouds? And we see it in and out of the clouds, and we could get some comparison to size. In my opinion, this thing's over at least 200 to 300 feet in length. And again, I don't see any FAA lights or anything like that. This is the typical TR-3B that thousands of people have seen. Dr. J?
You know, the first thing you see three lights, and the question is it three objects or is it one? But you actually see the outline of the TR-3B. You literally see the triangle shape and the rounded corners on all three sides. And the way it flies is not how our planes would fly. There's no thrust coming out from one side and it's flying in one direction. This seems to be able to fly in any direction it wants.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're looking at something, in my opinion, that's reversed alien engineered technology. It's coming from out there, and we've garnished the technology, and they're using it right now in our military assets, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, Blake. Again, John just made a point that you might see the body of this craft, and you kind of notice that right in the beginning of the film. You can see that this is kind of all highlighted with the black matte behind the lights. But then it seems to kind of maybe just cloak out at some points too, where the body seems to disappear, and all you do see is the 3 points of light. So I'm on the fence on this. I'm not sure if these could be just birds up in the sky just being illuminated, and this infrared camera's picking it up, or it could be a phenomenon that we're all wanting to know if it exists at TR3B. A big episode tonight, more UFOs coming up. This one really got our attention over here. Check it out.
Is this some kind of celestial event? Some space debris, a meteorite burning up in our atmosphere, or a crash of a UFO? Look at the sparks and the refraction of light that comes off this object. This is amazing footage. Again, no manipulation. This is legitimate stuff that we're sharing right now. Dr. J, your thoughts? Something otherworldly or something mundane like space junk?
You know, I actually considered, is it something burning up, returning into our atmosphere? This is actually my favorite video of the night. I don't think it is something burning up in atmosphere. Obviously, could it be some sort of meteorite? Sure, people can make that argument, but to me, it looks like it's something, whether it be like a biological thing or more likely a craft. And the interesting thing, the flashes of light almost makes it like this thing wants us to see it.
Yeah, very cool. I really like this one too. It's really clear. And the person that captured this only had a short moment of time to record this event. Could this maybe be in some sort of war zone? It's kind of heating up, and that's what's happening around the world. Is just maybe some sort of Russian technology, a hypersonic missile that we're looking at too as well? I'm not sure. You don't hear sound as it passes by the city and while he's filming this, but you do hear this explosion at the end. Could that be a sonic boom?
Yeah, it's interesting. We're going to look at this a little closer, maybe in tomorrow's episode, and maybe get some more details and more videos from the region, because like you said, Brent, it's lighting up around the world, and there's a lot of military action. But again, this refraction of light doesn't seem to me like it's any kind of missile or a rocket. It's very interesting. Like Dr. J was saying, it maybe wanted to be noticed. Are these ETs wanting to be seen? They're not hiding anymore, maybe. That's insane to even think about. A lot of stuff is happening. And give us a big thumbs up if you're joining us in this live premiere. Like we said, we've got a lot of videos in this episode, so let's roll the next one right now. All right, let's get a little closer look. I enhanced it a little bit. We're looking at approximately 7 to 8 lights, illuminated, orange, red, basically on fire almost. Are we looking at some kind of craft up in the sky, military flares? That's at a high altitude. I don't see any smoke coming off these things. In my opinion, it's not Chinese lanterns. We're looking at something that's intelligent in design, in my opinion, and it's up there high. And is this some kind of large UFO craft up in the clouds, being pretty stealthy, or again wanting to be recognized?
Yeah, what I like about this video, you see the lights, like you say, they're illuminated, they're orange, they're hot, and then right on the top of it you see this black mass. It seems like they're connected to it as well, and these are like just hanging lights from whatever's keeping this floating in the sky. Again, if you look closely, you'll see the object right there. That's a good point. It's almost like a triangle. Dr. J.
This is really crazy footage. At first, I thought maybe it's one giant ship, but then the lights started to move, and I was like, hold on a second. They are all independent. But the craziest part is what you mentioned, what's above. It looks like a cube-shaped craft. And are these drones being released to survey the sky or take samples of the atmosphere?
You know, that's a good question, Dr. J. And again, the enhancements, we do see some kind of like Borg or a cube-shaped UFO, and that's been making the rounds over the years. Is this the return of the cube UFO? I'm not exactly sure, guys. Lay your thoughts on this live premiere. We want to get the comments, the thumbs up. We got to get in this algorithm so we could get the word out to the world that the phenomenon, it's real. And you're seeing it right now. Again, 100% legitimate footage coming into Third Phase of Moon. Let's roll the next one right now. Take a look at this. The original video to the left, I managed to do a little bit of enhancement, get a close-up, and that's the video to the right. And we're looking at some kind of, I don't know, dare I say humanoid. I know there's been a lot of videos, the Jetpack Man, humanoid-like UFOs being seen around the world, and this is again one of them, and we're sharing it with you. I want to get your thoughts, Dr. J, on this one.
Yeah, totally. It actually looks like a very tall Lego man. You know, obviously that's not what I'm saying it is. I'm not saying it's a toy, but that's what the shape looks like. You got a larger than normal head. The arms are sort of locked in a front position. I actually first considered, is this possibly a balloon? But it's kind of moving too fast for a balloon, and it's not wobbling like a balloon.
Yeah, the person filmed this for quite some time. The video runs for a couple minutes, and you can see it's at quite some distance, and he manages to hold the camera pretty good. That's why we're able to get this close up. And at the end of the video, we're even going to see a little clearer version of what this is. Could this be the jetpack flying man that's been seen over Los Angeles? Or like you said, John, could it just be maybe balloons? Again, it doesn't look like that unless somebody tried to prop this up to make it look like a humanoid.
Yeah, I'm wondering how close proximity this is to LAX, because a few years ago, the Jetpack Man was being seen in the LAX region multiple times, and they're really concerned. We don't want any kind of unknown objects flying in and around LAX. It could be quite dangerous for the pilots. Let's just say that. But again, I like the cameraman. He shoots it, and some people say, why don't you shoot it till the very end? And that's why we're rolling this video and just seeing it in its raw form. And look at this, we get a really clear shot. Again, it looks like a human figure just kind of hovering there, and we're going to lose sight of it right behind the palm tree. But once again, there's things that are being captured in the Los Angeles area and around the world, and we're happy to share it with you at Third Phase of Moon. Now, more videos coming in, and this one we just received moments ago of what looks to be some kind of possible massive ship just hovering off the coastline. Watch this. So at first when I was looking at this video, I thought it could have been Starlink, but I gotta roll that out. It's way too low. It's pretty much right above the ocean there, and it's just hanging. It's not Starlink, and this isn't any kind of ship or anything just cruising along the ocean there. We're looking at something, in my opinion, looks to be like a massive craft just sitting off the surface there. Brent, your first thoughts?
Yeah, I like this video a lot. There he goes. He's zooming in. Again, these people that capture UFOs do the best job they possibly can under the situation, and he manages to catch a really good close-up of it. Is this thing hovering? Is this one craft? Because if that's the case, we're looking at something huge. John.
You actually said the words I read out of my mouth. Is it one craft, or are we looking at multiple lights that form each individual craft? But I actually think this is one massive craft, and it's sort of just hovering there over the coastline. Again, does this thing want to be seen? Why else would it just be there?
You know, that's the big question, right? Like, why do people even see UFOs? What's the phenomenon all about? If people are lying about their sightings or they're faking UFO videos and everything out there is fake, that's a phenomenon in itself. And that was stated by Mr. DC Cooper a few days ago in the chat. I kind of liked it. Obviously, there are real UFO sightings out there. They're real unidentified objects around us 24/7, and people are pulling out their cameras and they're filming it. Real people, just like you and me, with no agenda. They're just in the right place at the right time. And what we're looking at right now is something that we can't explain. And that's the most amazing, exhilarating thing that we could do right here at Third Phase of Moon. Delve into the mystery, and hopefully one of these days we could bring you the smoking gun proof that we're not alone. But in my opinion, I think we already did it. We have tens of thousands of videos right here at Third Phase of Moon showcasing the phenomenon. Any last words, Dr. J?
Yeah, we are living in AD, after disclosure. And as you said, tens of thousands of videos on Third Phase of Moon. Third Phase of Moon is the original channel for UFOs on YouTube. It changed the format for ufology. Everybody out there, if you have something to contribute, please send it over to Blake Brent.
Thank you, Dr. J. Yeah, my email is in the description. And like I said, copy paste that link, upload it to YouTube, and send it to me, and we'll take a look. Guys, take a look at this broad daylight sighting. All right, what the heck are we looking at? A metallic cube-like UFO rotating stationary in the sky. No undulation up or down. This thing is just rock solid at a steady level, hovering there, rotating. Under intelligent design, in my opinion, we're looking at something quite incredible here.
Yeah, is this something man-made or something otherworldly? I'm leaning towards something of new technology. We're looking at something that just seems to, like you say, Blake, just hover as it rotates and stays in its position. In my opinion, if this was just a balloon, you'd see it kind of drifting off or floating up. This thing just remains in its point in sky as it spins. Dr. J.
This is really remarkable footage. First of all, the person capturing it not only captured the orb in the sky, he captured people crossing the street, driving, and a building for reference. Now, the object seems to be stationary, but upon closer look, it looks like it's barely moving. But the most interesting is look at the way the light is glistening on the object. It's either rolling, wobbling, or like you said, rotating. And that's what makes it more believable. I don't know if this is our technology, because why would it be tested over a populated area instead of somewhere like Groom Lake?
Possible surveillance drone, Blake?
You know, it's a good question. I'm not seeing any prop propeller blades or anything that's any means of conventional flight. So we're looking at something crazy. Again, no manipulation, in my opinion. This is 100% legitimate footage. The question is, what the heck is it? And under a little closer inspection, we did a little enhancement to the right. You almost see like it's at first I thought it was an orb, but it turned to be looking more like a cube. Your thoughts? Now, the next video just in. Here we go again. Incredible. People pull over on the side of the road. They notice something in the sky and start to pull out their camera. And once again, broad daylight footage of what looks to be a metallic disc just hovering in the sky. He's shaking around. He's excited, kind of yelling out, what the heck is it? And right now we have no answers for you. We just know that it's the phenomenon, and there it is in your face, broad daylight. Quite interesting. You see it oscillate just slightly there, something like what Bob Lazar would explain.
Yeah, this is some pretty badass footage. Here's a good close-up, and it's interesting when you see something there on the bottom right on the left screen. Is that maybe an accompanying UFO that we're looking at next to this large cylindrical disc that's just hovering in the sky up there? Again, people do say that when they see a disc, a UFO, a flying saucer, they see other kind of objects next to it, some sort of like drone. This is a great close-up there. John.
This is actually more remarkable footage as well because of the same thing. You got reference points of a building, you got the street, you got the power line, and then just like you said, very good eye. What is that other object to the lower right of it? Is it something that came out of the larger object itself? Obviously, it looks to be under intelligent control, or is it monitoring this disc? But it's not really a disc. The edges don't look perfectly round. That's another amazing thing about this video. This is really good footage.
You know, when I'm looking at this a little closer, it's interesting because it's high up there in the sky. I'm estimating this thing to be at least maybe 20 feet in diameter. And the way you mentioned this, Dr. J, I noticed that it isn't a perfect saucer shape. There seems to be some ridges, almost like an octagon, but it's hard to make out. But again, it's still pretty clear footage. And hands to the right, we're looking at it. That undulation is amazing stuff. Now, the next video into Third Phase Moon, let's roll it. Captured in Japan, you have a group of people in shock and awe of what looks to be some kind of massive craft, and it's interesting. We're gonna inspect this video a little closer, and if you're joining us in this live premiere, make sure you hit that thumbs up because again, we got a lot of videos in this episode. But I wanted to share this with you. It's been kind of going viral last week. It's the first time we're sharing it with you right here at Third Phase Moon, and we wanted to get everybody's thoughts. Again, I think this is legitimate footage, but it looks to me almost like just this ominous dark cloud, and then we have this refraction of lights within the glass, making it appear to be a mothership. But again, they're in shock and awe. Maybe they're seeing something that they can't explain. Brandon, is this some kind of cloaked mothership?
Yeah, I really like this footage. It makes people just wonder, what are we looking at? Right there in the beginning, when the clip plays, it definitely looks like this saucer just straight in your face, and it looks like a mothership off in the distance. But then as the camera keeps rolling, you can see that the lights are within the cabin of the plane itself, and then it kind of reveals itself, in my opinion, as a dark cloud. But again, this is impressive footage that catch people's attention. John?
I actually considered the fact that is it a dark cloud, but then again, it looks way too uniform, and the lights in it look eerie. I also started to pay attention to the series of lights to the left of the craft, but then I realized those are probably just the glare from the actual window. So just like you said, is this just a dark cloud and the lights are glare from inside the aircraft? I don't know what to say about this one. I hope it's a craft. If it is, it's really amazing. Clearly, people were excited enough to film it. But is it something conventional like just a dark cloud?
Interesting in the thought process. It's everybody's opinion. That's why we're sharing it with you right now. Leave it in the comments. We want to hear yours. Now, more videos into Third Phase of Moon. I told you we had a lot of them. Let's get to it. In a little town of Chile, a villager comes out of their home noticing something in the sky. Is this again some kind of cube-shaped UFO? We don't see the craft itself, but we see 4 lights, and it's just hovering there, and they're shocked. And then again, I guess it starts to morph in a couple other lights, so these things dissipate. It's just weird stuff, but it got a lot of people's attention in Chile. What's your thoughts here, Dr. J?
You know, first thing I noticed, is it 4 different objects that are in unison, or is it 1? I actually think this is 1, and it's not the first time a cross-shaped UFO was seen. If everyone recalls this very famous woodcut from the 1500s Nuremberg, which everyone can see on Ancient Aliens, or just Google it. You see a Star Wars, what people described of orbs, cylinders, discs, and cross-shaped objects fighting. So I'm actually not surprised that that's what this is actually shaped like a cross and is something anomalous. I don't think we have anything in our Air Force, Space Force, or technology that looks like this.
All I can say, John, is what we're looking at looks like something intelligent, because it's there. It's creating a pattern like a cube, a square, just hovering in the night sky, and it's stationary. It's not moving left to right. This thing's locked in. Again, I wish the video didn't cut. I would have liked to see the pattern of lights on how this next angle just shows too. So it leads me to question what's going on here. Could it just be a placement of drones up in the sky creating this, or something else?
You know, when I'm looking at this video, and it's a good call, I wish they didn't cut. Maybe they're two separate events. It's interesting. I'm not exactly sure if this is the same event. It looks like the same color spectrum of the exact same time, but again, what we're looking at with these four respective lights just hovering in the sky, the question is it one object? In my opinion, it very well could be. And in my opinion as well, this is, again, 100% legitimate footage, unknown, no manipulation. It's a UFO, guys. We don't know what the heck it is. So let's roll the next one. You guys ready? Check this out. What the heck are we looking at here? Again, in my opinion, we're looking at something legitimate in the sky. The person was filming the sun, and this thing just crossed into frame. Unknown what we're looking at, and it is very bizarre. You see this warping effect. In my opinion, that's the thermal waves coming in from the sun and the atmospheric disturbance. But we see this thing cross the path of the sun and disappear. But once again, just watch this. It's amazing. In my opinion, I don't see any manipulation. We're looking at something up in the sky, and in a moment of time, something unusual was captured.
Holy shit. This is amazing, badass footage. Could be the best of the year. If this is indeed real, we're looking at something that nobody could explain. It looks like something floating in space as it's traversing in front of the sun with something that's not in our assets. This isn't your typical space station or Starlink or any of the sort. This is something the world has never seen, if this is real.
This is really one of the gnarliest things I've seen. First question, is this orbiting the sun? And the main object looks like a raft with a giant hole in it. But what we're looking at is actually three different things. This raft-looking thing, which starts to rotate, something next to it on the bottom right, which looks like a large, cylinder or a disc-shaped object, and a smaller object. Even the smallest object in this has to be massive to be visible this far away. And again, the question is it just in front of the sun, or is it close enough to be orbiting the sun?
Yeah, that's the good question there. And when I'm looking at this, as we see, I think the cameraman probably has his camera set at infinity level. So whatever this object is, if it were close to the camera person, I think if this wasn't super high up, like in the memosphere, 90 to 100 miles up, it would be out of focus if it were closer to the person, closer, maybe 10,000 feet in the atmosphere. I'm guessing that this is actually up there, 90 to 100 miles up there, in focus, just as well as you can see in the outline of the sun. And if this indeed is in our rotation around Earth, and this camera person managed to capture it, and it's some kind of secret space program or secret space station, we want to know. I think this is kind of smoking gun stuff here. This is quite incredible. And if you're joining us in this live premiere, I'm sharing you the link so you can share it on your social media to get the word out. Third Phase Moon's dropping big news in tonight's episode. And tell people, check out Third Phase Moon and share the link. But anyway, I want to get your thoughts with regards to what you're looking at right now. It's amazing stuff. And we even have more in tonight's episode. So let's roll the next one, guys. Hit that thumbs up right now. So once again, a cube in the sky rotating, and this one is crystal clear. We showed you the first UFO video in tonight's episode, and I think it's very similar. I think it's made by the same manufacturer. The question is, who's designing this? Is it being piloted? Is it unmanned? Anyway, it's super clear. Somebody's shooting it right outside their window, notices something in the sky, and we're looking at something that's totally unconventional here. Dr. J.
This reminds me, a couple nights ago, right here on Thirdphaseofmoon, we had a nighttime video of a cube with some lights that seemed to be attached or, flying underneath it. This is daytime footage. It originally looked like a square, but it's not a flat square because as it rotates, you could see it's literally a three-dimensional cube. That is not aerodynamic. That is not something DARPA or McDonnell Douglas or Skunk Works would be making. Obviously, they'd be making something like the TR-3B triangular. Is this, like you said, unmanned, or is it manned? What's the deciding factor on what has what? Either way, this is really remarkable footage, and I'd love to see how many people that are watching this right now have ever seen a cube-shaped UFO. If so, please say so in the comments.
Absolutely, Dr. J, and I want to get Brent's opinion. And this reminds me of some celestial events. NASA has been capturing images of the supposed cube, the Borg, whatever you call it. This is in our atmosphere. This is being captured by somebody on planet Earth, and it's just mind-boggling. As I pull up these photos from Soho, Brent, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, again, the video comparison to Soho is dramatic, and there we go. Look at this. This has been seen millions of times, but it's something that needs to be shown again. The cube, the UFO cube. If this is something that's close to our sun, and it's that shape, this is, again, smoking gun footage right here at Third Phase Moon. These things that we're seeing over the skies kind of just remind me of what's happening around our planet. There's drones everywhere now in all these shapes and sizes. We just want to know where are they coming from and who's operating them.
Yeah, and it's absolutely amazing that, again, NASA's capturing this, and they really don't have any explanation. Some people might just pass it off as a digital glitch, but I don't think so. There's just too many photos of the Borg next to our sun, and again, you're looking at authentic footage. No CGI, no AI, no manipulation. It's the real deal. The phenomenon is happening 24/7, and we wanted to bring up this video that's quite amazing. Take a look.
Yeah. Les voisins, c'est qui ont pris leur caméra.
So we wanted to bring up this authentic video, and we're looking at it right now, a flying disc, and you're looking at, again, these undulations that defy seemingly the laws of physics. And this is some vintage video that has been around for a long time. You may have not seen it, and that's why we wanted to share it with you. But these recent photographs, apparently George Knapp has leaked of basically maybe the same event, the same craft captured during the time that video was captured. So this is breaking news, and we wanted to share the side-by-side comparison and what George Knapp's bringing to the table. Brent?
Yeah, it's interesting. I was going over YouTube and came across Vetted, and he was talking about this and brought the similarities together with this George Knapp shot and the old vintage kind of put together. Really puts a nice timeline of, are these flying discs out there? And it seems like there's proof, and this is leading footage right here. John?
This is classic UFO disc. Very sleek. It's black looking. I love how people are watching it. It's over the mountain. You see the trees. Lots of points of reference. Obviously, this is the real deal. Otherwise, I don't think George Knapp would have used it. And I always been saying this for the last few years. Even though this is an older video, everyone has a camera in their pocket. That's why everyone is filming stuff these days. But I don't think that's the only reason there's so much more video out there. I think there really is a massive uptick in sightings. Now, the question is, how many are ARVs, alien reproduction vehicles, and how many are us being visited? This one, I don't know. Is it something we created, or is it something that is of non-terrestrial origin that's here to watch us?
We're looking at something that really can't be explained right there in Texas. If you could help us out, track down this exact location, people. If you're watching, find this coordinate and send it to us at Third Phase Moon. We're looking at it right now. Brent, your thoughts. Has the Air Force or the Space Force or Lockheed Martin cracked the stealth with regards to invisibility for our aircraft right now?
Dang, Blake, this is some good footage right here, especially the 3D graphic. Again, could this maybe be a glitch within Google's system, looking at this and creating a mirrored image of maybe a craft there in a previous point? I'm not sure. I'm looking at something that definitely resembles, especially this 3D image of something that I would see in our American assets using cloaking of something that was going to hide something like the Predator. This is what it reminds me of, the movie Predator, because it definitely blends into its surrounding environment. This is a perfect cloak for any aircraft.
The technology does exist, but is it in our assets to pretty much make our jet fighters invisible to the enemy? I believe so, and we're looking at it right now, in my opinion. So like I said, let's track these coordinates down, and we'll do a follow-up on Third Phase of Moon tomorrow with help like you watching. Now let's get to some videos from around the world, the phenomenon. Take a look at this. So once again, a truck driver just driving down on its route and notices something strange in the sky. Some people might call it an upside down pyramid or maybe an acorn-shaped UFO. And in this episode, we're going to be going back to some of the archives to compare this phenomenon, the acorn or the upside down UFO that is being captured all over our planet. So what are we looking at? I'm going to get a close-up. I'm going to add some brightness contrast right now to make whatever this is pop and get a little closer look. We can see the dark triangle just in perfect stationary in space in this area, just hovering over the rooftops. And you see this bright beam of light from the sun just shining down upon it. We're not seeing any kind of canopy. I don't believe this is some propped up air balloon.
Yeah, what I like about this, you could definitely see, like you just said, the triangle, the darkness right underneath this, what I believe looks like a cylindrical flying saucer right on the top of it. Could these two vehicles be connected as a partnership, or is this, again, one ship or something that just can't be explained? What I like about it is it has the two ships, in my opinion, connected to each other. That's what I find fascinating about this.
As we look at this, I'm going to be pulling up some archive of incredibly clear footage of the exact same craft, in my opinion. And I want to get your thoughts right now here at Third Phase of Moon with regards to your thoughts of what this possibly could be. So let's pull it up. A really cool vintage video of the exact same craft in the sky. No CGI, no AI. We're looking at something that's up in the sky and we can't explain. Take a look at this. An extreme close-up, incredibly clear, of some unknown craft, and it is interesting in its flight pattern. There's no oscillation. It's not wobbling in any weird way. This thing is rock steady in the sky. And here's another shot of the exact same thing. So I believe something's up there that's resembling the upside down pyramid, whatever you call it, the acorn shaped UFO. It's out there and people are seeing this. And again, we're looking at something that is very unconventional. Brett, your thoughts as we look at the truck driver's footage and compare it to what's being captured in other parts of the world?
Yeah, Blake, these are pretty much exact duplicates or twins of each other. These objects are very similar, that it's undeniable. They're pretty much the exact same thing. Could it be the same craft traversing over the region around the world? More UFOs coming up. Check this out.
Captured in China. We're looking at some kind of craft. It looks to be a flying saucer with lights surrounding the hull of the craft, and it is remarkable. And we really, again, have no explanation to what this is. Is there, and I want to ask you, Brent, is there like a suppression of UFOs coming out of China, or does it seem that they're kind of ramping up with their sightings over there? I'm seeing more and more footage from the country.
Yeah, I think it's been clamped down for quite some time, and maybe they're leaking it out a little bit, slowly but surely. And this is definitely a good example of that. This is something that we don't see in the United States or even in South America. This is totally unique to China's experience of witnessing UFOs, because I've seen a couple of these come out in that region. Is there some sort of new technology that China may be dealing with, or is there a certain otherworldly race visiting China? This is, again, phenomenal footage. This thing doesn't seem to rotate. It just seems to hold itself up in the sky. I wish we could have seen the whole video, where we could have seen it leave the vicinity. Then it would have really answered a lot of questions. These are great close-ups. Again, everybody in the chat, what do you think this is?
Yeah, good point there, because I agree. There's probably more to this video than we could share right now, because this is the only clip that we're able to show. And we're looking for the extended cut, because I'm sure the eyewitness wouldn't have just stopped the camera. And in my estimation, this thing's off at a distance over the mountaintop. This has got to be about 20 to maybe even 40 feet in diameter. So we're looking at something quite impressive in the sky. Again, it's a UFO, and there's no AI, CGI. This is legitimate footage, people. That's what we want to share with you. The original to the left, and in a little enhanced version where I'm blowing it up, adding some brightness contrast so we could get a closer look at what was captured in South America. What the heck are we looking at? First, let's take it out to Dr. J. We've seen some crazy videos, UFOs, and some people are claiming, I'm sure right now, that this is some kind of drone prototype, but right now I'm not seeing any indication of the means of propulsion. That's what's crazy about this.
I don't think this is a drone either. It looks like a typical flying saucer. What's interesting about it is it seems to be emanating light from underneath, but the most apparent thing is the appendages. Now, obviously, if this was coming close to the ground, people would say it's landing gear. When people have seen flying saucers on the ground, many say there's 3 landing gear or 3 legs that are on the ground, but they're never this long. What are these things? Are they taking samples of the atmosphere, which is something I speculated, a couple weeks ago in another video? Because we're starting to see more and more of these. Mind you, the jellyfish video that just came out a few years ago, which was taken over, I think it was Kuwait or Afghanistan, we had never seen something like that in the history of ufology, but now we're seeing stuff with appendages. It's interesting.
Yeah, we're just letting this roll. This video actually is about 4 minutes in length here. Multiple shots of this craft and just seemingly defying the laws of physics. Again, we're gonna get some close-up shots of this craft, and we're not gonna see anything that has any means of propulsion. I'm just a kind of broken record on it, but it just doesn't make sense to me. It looks like it's defying anti-gravity. Are we looking at it right now? Man.
Yeah, this is impressive. I like what we just saw right there as it zoomed by the camera, and then he peels in and gets in a really good close-up right here as this thing seems to rise in the sky. John brought up a really good point when he said that there was this light illuminating from underneath this craft. Definitely, it seemed like that. And some of these close-ups that we're getting, I would challenge anybody, if you go and film a drone up in the sky, you're going to see the prop propellers moving around. And there was no sound too from underneath while we're watching this too as well. So what we're looking at is something insane.
Yeah, let's just listen up and listen very carefully. There's no sound coming from this craft. So we just wanted to roll it a little bit with the original sound from the source. Again, I don't see any kind of manipulation. I think we're looking at something that's 100% legitimate. Whatever is being filmed right now, it's up there in the sky. And the means of propulsion is what's missing here. We're just not seeing it. And it's hanging up there, doing these subtle maneuvers, but very intelligent in its flight pattern, in my opinion.
What I like about this, again, is just like how you said there, Blake. It's rotating very slowly as it kind of moves. I don't know how big this thing is. Maybe it's not like super massive. Maybe it's just kind of in the middle of the size of maybe like a small trash can. I'm not sure. Something not enormous. That's why I think this is something brought in as some sort of surveillance drone. I'm not sure if it's otherworldly or something with in our assets that's being tested over Colombia.
You know, this is really interesting. First of all, I agree with you. I don't think this is very big. Unfortunately, there's no reference points for us to pinpoint the size of it. I would guess it's about, a little bigger than a trash can or a VW bug, maybe even 15 to 20 feet diameter. There's a really interesting debate that occurred between Joe Rogan and Tim Pool of Timcast, two of the biggest podcasters. Tim Pool, who was not a UFO believer, said that the way to fake a UFO is essentially use a quadcopter and cover the top so it looks like a disc, and then obviously have the rotor blades underneath. The problem with that is you'd be able to hear it, and that wouldn't account for the history of people seeing flying saucers. So that argument didn't end up flying when Joe Rogan pointed out all those facts. I don't think this is a quadcopter dressed as a flying saucer. Now, I also have the impression that this is unmanned. I don't know why, but that's the impression it gives to me. Maybe because it's that small. I'm just curious what it is doing with these legs. It's not on the ground. It's not close to the ground. What is it doing with those appendages?
I'm looking at it, and just earlier we could see the underbelly just kind of glow, almost plasmic. It was just white, and it gave off this like energy field around it. And I thought that was pretty interesting. But you bring up a good point, Dr. J. What is the purpose of these appendages on the bottom of this craft? I think it's definitely intelligent in design, and it's a craft, all right. I'm thinking they're just landing pads, retractable. and maybe they come out when it's prepared to land, or maybe it's the means of the propulsion through some kind of static energy. I'm not a scientist here. I'm just speculating. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah, again, when we look at this, in my opinion, anybody could go out there and film a drone and get this kind of close-up, crystal clear footage. You're going to see the rotation of the rotors on top, and the way this thing's kind of spinning and on the angle of access as well. When you see a certain point of the video, this thing's at an axis where a propeller wouldn't be able to sustain this normal flight.
The reason this is definitely not a drone is if this was a quadcopter, the way it tilts, it would go in that direction. This is not happening. In fact, it's doing the opposite. It looks like if this was four rotors, a quadcopter, disguised as a saucer, then it's not even following the laws of those physics of how we know drones fly. So that's another reason that this cannot be that. Obviously, we don't see any means of propulsion. This is definitely something unknown. Like you said earlier, is it something that we're testing, or is it something that is not from this world? But either way, it's not a quadcopter or any conventional technology.
Well said there, Dr. J. Absolutely. We want to get your comments right now in this live premiere. Now, there's been a lot of talk about the Sasquatch, Bigfoot, whatever you call it. There's this new video that has just made the rounds. Somebody sent it to us via our Instagram, and we're looking at it right now. All right, we're doing a little enhancement of this video. It's interesting. The Bigfoot's been making the rounds. I guess people are really interested in the phenomenon. And let me tell you, tens of thousands of people have claimed to see one. And we believe that we're going to share right here at Third Phase of Moon. If we believe that the video seems authentic and there's no kind of obvious manipulation, we could share it and give our opinions, and we've done it in the past, and it's interesting. It's kind of controversial, but who doesn't love a Bigfoot mystery? And to analyze some of the video, and some people are claiming that we really get a good shot of what the facial features of a Bigfoot looks like right there. Dr. J, your thoughts on this video making the rounds?
Bigfoot, like you said, has definitely been making the rounds lately. Everybody seems to be far more interested than ever before. Whether it's called Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Mountain Yeti from the slopes in Mount Everest, or even the skunk ape in Florida.
Or the Yowie.
Alleged to be the same. And the interesting thing, though, is like this. The first question everyone has to ask, is it somebody in a suit? I don't think that's what we're looking at. It looks like we're looking at an actual creature, and whoever zoomed up in this, shockingly without fear, I would run away if that was me. You know, obviously that's what I would do. But the point is, this person was able to capture this as it barely, kind of looked up, and you could see the facial features, something we're not able to see in good Bigfoot videos as much anymore these days as we are today.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you just said, if I saw this in the woods, it would scare the shit out of me. And I'm not sure if I'd run or keep filming. And if this guy's actually that brave, I'm going to give him some big, you know what I mean? Because this is massive to film something like this in the woods if this is indeed real. What I'm looking at is when it shows a good close-up of his face, this thing seems to show age and like something that's been around for a long time. It's amazing. The beard, the grayness, it seems like this thing's probably about 45 years old. And Bigfoot stages, new video coming up. Let's watch the next video right here at Third Phase.
just not moving at all in the sky. Come closer, you alien. Come closer, you alien.
All right, let's get the side-by-side comparison right now. Shot in Miami, Florida, just a few days ago. We're sharing it with you right now on Third Phase of Moon. Another typical flying saucer. They're just making the rounds everywhere around the world. Are they not hiding anymore? Look at this.
Yeah, I really like this one because we got a great close-up there, and it looks like your typical flying saucer, kind of again at this angle that wouldn't have the means of propulsion if this was some sort of drone. Could this maybe be a banner being pulled from some sort of Cessna in the sky? But I'm leaning towards something else because it's taking this bend and it seems to be morphing. Dr. J.
This looks like a flat diamond shape, all black, and that's why I like it so much, because it does fit like a typical flying saucer, especially when people look at the UFO charts. This is definitely one that's commonly seen. And of course, we get to see the building below it. Clearly, the people who saw it were excited enough to pull out their camera and start filming it. The question is this a manned or unmanned craft? And is it ours? Is it an ARV? Or is it a, ET, extraterrestrial UFO? Now, here's the other interesting thing. I've heard that disclosure is going to be happening in about 30 days. That's what some people in the Pentagon are saying, but we've always heard that for 40, 50, 60 years, right? But what you said earlier, these things are showing themselves much more often. It seems to be strategic, as if they want more and more people on Earth to recognize that, hey, we're being visited.
Visited by what is the big question, and we've got more video just into third phase. Between California and Nevada, something crazy in the sky was captured. Broad daylight sighting. Is this some kind of military operation? Practicing and actually doing maneuvers in front of the public and not in Area 51? We're going to get some close-up looks at this. And I'm not seeing, again, any means of propulsion here.
But again, all our videos that we're sharing tonight, there's no CGI, there's no AI. This is absolutely legitimate footage. We're just asking the big question, what is it? And this one is definitely worth speculating on because it's something unidentified up there in the sky, and you can see this kind of cylindrical object just kind of drifting from left to right. It looks metallic, and if it is, then that's amazing. Could it maybe be some sort of just weather balloon up there stationed there and maybe pinned to the ground? But I don't see no cord. What is this?
I like this one a lot. This looks like an egg-shaped craft. Look at where you see the light glistening, where the sun is coming from. And yes, I don't see a cord like this is a weather balloon. It actually looks like it's traveling from left to right very, very slowly. This reminds me of an egg-shaped craft that landed in the 60s here in California, and the CIA could not get into it. It was like a gift for us humans. They actually built an Air Force base around this craft, and to this day, that's where it's being housed. So that's what this reminds me of.
Interesting stuff. And again, we're doing some enhancements on this. And again, maybe it is some surveillance balloon, but it looks kind of wild to me, and it looks metallic. Guys, we want to get your thoughts in this live premiere happening right now, and make sure you hit that thumbs up for the new UFO videos to Third Phase Moon that the world shares tomorrow. So let's get to the next one right now. Take a look at this. Video coming in from the Third Phase of Moon archive. Somebody said, you got to share this once again, because we've got a lot of military people coming forward about aerial close encounters with the unknown. And we're looking at it right now of what appears to be a jet fighter in hot pursuit or being flanked by a UFO. I'm not sure which is which here, but this is incredible stuff that we're looking at. Once again, 100% authentic.
Yeah, what I see here going on is a lot of people just big YouTube channels lift Third Phase of Moon archives that were sent to us originally, and then they just repurpose it and pass it off as new stuff. But sometimes that's good because we get to see exactly the things that need to be brought up again. Sometimes we need to research the past because this could be all be smoke and gun. What we're looking at is footage way before Space Force was even being mentioned. Is this what we're looking at pre-Space Force? Some sort of maybe exercise in the sky?
It very well could be. Every time I see a bright ship during the day, it reminds me of what Bob Lazar said in '89. When you have something producing a high voltage electricity and you're in Earth's atmosphere, which is full of gases, it creates a glow. And so we have that. And then you also have this plane that seems to be chasing it. And obviously it has a large contrail, which possibly is the afterburner. I would love to know how this ended. Did the craft actually end up being shot down? Did the jet ever catch up to it? But my guess is this craft or the disc ended up just flying away faster than the airplane.
You know, looking at this stuff, it's just insane, and it boggles the mind. The archive of Third Phase of Moon, it's vast, and people are watching this around the world in real time. And even our fans send us amazing videos daily, and this is one of them. Watch this. A commercial airliner in close proximity, maybe a near collision over California, and we're looking at it right now. A UFO, obviously, next to this commercial airliner. We're looking at something extraordinarily dangerous, or maybe something observing the commercial airliner. I'm not exactly sure, but this is intense.
Yeah, Blake, this is some pretty badass footage. Look at that. It almost clips the airliner right there. Is this some sort of video proof of a near air collision with a commercial airliner and a UFO? That's up for people to decide. We could disseminate this video all night, but we got so many UFO videos coming up, it's off the hook. So again, what do you think this thing is? We're not seeing no wings on this craft as it just basically traverses right by this commercial airliner.
All I gotta say is, dang, this is crazy stuff coming in, and we're sharing it with you right now on Third Phase of Moon, and we've got a lot of videos coming up. So is this some kind of secret Space Force technology, something within an asset of a private corporation, or is it something not of this earth? That's what we want to know, and that's what we're here to find out. And like I said, we've got a lot of UFO videos, so let's just roll the next one and give us a big thumbs up for this live premiere. Let's do it. So we have some information behind this video, and we're going to get some close-up enhancements of what apparently is a flying disc, a flying saucer, something unknown in Egypt. And a family kind of takes shelter from the rain inside their car and sees this outside their window. Apparently, we're going to dissect this a little bit, but I'm not exactly sure. Is this some kind of maybe reflection from within the car? Actually, we're looking at this a little closer. I'm seeing that whatever this object is, as after we do some enhancements here, we're doing some brightness contrast, and we're giving it all we got just to enhance this. And it almost looks metallic. The one to the lower right gives a shape and dimension. This looks like some kind of craft up in the sky, Brian.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing, especially the way he pulled out, and then he could see this object up in the sky, and then he kind of gives this kind of perspective on this thing. Seems to be some place off in the distance. I'm saying quite a bit, and this thing would be massive if this is indeed just hovering in the sky about maybe 100 yards out. What we're looking at is, could it possibly be maybe a lens reflection? But when he zooms in, it doesn't react like normal lens flares react under that action of camera motion.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it even closer, and I'm seeing that the windshield wiper, if that's what it is, it's in front of this craft. And if this were a reflection, this thing would still remain there. And I'm thinking this is up there in the sky. So it's interesting stuff. Family in Egypt captures something that's quite amazing. It's not the first time that we have submissions coming in from that region. And if you're watching from Egypt or Africa right now, just give us a big thumbs up, okay? This is interesting stuff, Brent.
Oh, that's for sure. We're looking at this again. I'm more leaning that this thing's a craft hovering in the sky, and it's just out there in a weather storm in Egypt, and it just stays stationary. This wouldn't be like some sort of typical show where they're just going to throw up a drone and have this thing stay out there. This is under controlled conditions, under something not of this world, in my opinion.
And we're looking at more things, maybe not of this world. Recently, Casper Sight shared our video on his channel with regards to UFOs entering and exiting the sun. We received this from Slovakia, and this was captured on a Nikon just this week. And people are going to be scratching their heads. Are there like UFOs entering and exiting the sun? This is incredible footage, once again proving that the phenomenon is real. The question is, what exactly are we looking at? Is this some kind of asteroid zooming between the sun and Earth, and we're looking at it traverse maybe in between, or is it something actually going into the sun? I don't know. It's hard to prove, but what we can say is that this video is 100% authentic. It came into our Instagram. We spoke to the person who shot it, and we're looking at something amazing.
Yeah, this is great, because we've been breaking this news for years now, and now we're seeing more video evidence of the exact same phenomenon. Did you just see that? What I like about this, we're breaking it down. We're showing multiple craft. Basically, in my opinion, it looks like it's entering the sun and exiting the sun, or it could be maybe something in front of it, and it's creating this distortion. But again, people are saying that these are possible planes. This one that we get the close-up on, that you see enter on the top right and exit on the left, and then it just disappears out of plain sight. This is impressive, and some of the best footage I've ever seen of this phenomenon, especially the angle and the degree of how fast this thing just approaches the sun and exits at the same time.
Impressive video coming in. And Brian, I have to agree, and some people again might disagree, and that's great, but I don't think this is an airplane, Brian. And it is incredible. Could you imagine an interstellar craft, not of our solar system, coming to our star, the sun, to harness energy? Well, this is a big question, but as we look at this in a very close enhancement, you see this plasmic trail that just is being left behind, whatever this craft is. And it is something that maybe NASA should be telling us what the heck is going on and give us some answers. And maybe Avi Loeb, hey Avi, check this footage out. And if you know Avi, we know him too, but hey, look, just share this link with him and ask him what's up with this, because we want to get answers from it. Now, we're looking at something, a few photos that has just come into us again. It's kind of breaking news this episode tonight, Friday night. We're looking at something that obviously resembles the infamous TR-3B, and we're going to be enhancing these photos. Hopefully there's some video that comes up in the few days from now, but this is what we've got right now. And apparently there is some video of this very, very close encounter. And we've had our encounter with the TR-3B in pretty much close proximity to this. It was just like 150 feet above us, and it was football stadium size. It was just incredible, and it looked exactly like this. Brian, do you see any manipulation in these photographs?
Definitely, I'm looking at every aspect about it, and I think everybody's going to agree in the chat that this is authentic photos or video at the same time. We're not seeing any manipulation in the photos or video itself. Everything we're seeing is captured within the camera. Yeah, it'd be really cool to see the actual video of this happening in the event, and the excitement of somebody capturing this. The reflections of light and everything, it seems to match. Could this be somebody creating a prop or something like that and trying to pull a fast one? Let's hope not. But if this is actually legit footage and it's unmanipulated, we're looking at something pretty damn cool.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this with the enhancements. I really got really close around the edges to see if I saw any smudging or whatever, but the refractions of light match up perfectly. So authentic photos, in my opinion. Maybe a hoax, but maybe let's see the video first. Now, more video just in. Watch this.
straight up, what the fuck is this? What is that? What the fuck?
All right, yeah, people get excited, and it's amazing when you see the phenomenon. And this person had only a moment of time to capture this. And we're looking at something that's interesting. The flying humanoid comes to mind. Are we looking at something that is just mundane, a balloon? I don't know, maybe 100% it could be. We're not saying it's otherworldly, but hey, we want to share these kind of videos too, because there is the phenomenon of the jetpack man or these humanoids, and they're over our neighborhoods and cities all over the planet. So again, I want to get your thoughts, Brent, quickly on this one, and we'll get to the next.
Yeah, people film things in the sky. If you don't know what it is, just pull out the camera and just shoot it, and then we could all decide what it is afterwards and speculate. We're looking at something that is floating. It's an unidentified flying object. Could it be a balloon? Could it be something, an apparition of, or some sort of new technology? That's always a big question, but we're looking at something just hovering from right to left, and it's just moving straight vertical. There's no oscillation in this thing. It's just really stationary as it just traverses through the sky. I would film this if I saw it.
C'est quoi ce truc? C'est quoi ce truc? Maman, viens voir. Ben regarde là-haut. Oh. Ben je sais pas. C'est quoi ce truc? Bordel. Mais ça bouge.
Oh. Aïe. Attends. Alors.
What's going on in the skies over there? We're gonna get close-up looks at this, and we've got so many UFO videos coming in. October has been crazy this month with the activity.
Yeah, Blake, this is some killer footage right there. We see this, like you say, tic-tac, glowing red, just stall up in the sky and then start doing these rotations. This is unbelievable footage. Look how it just banks straight down across this tree line there, and it kind of blinks out of sight, but we see it right at the beginning of the video, this thing just hovering, and everybody's trying to get a good vantage point of what this UFO is. And then we see it just bank right there to the right across the tree line, and it just leaves people stunned in the sky. They don't know what this thing is.
Could it be some kind of propped up drone with an LED light? I don't think so. The illumination on this thing just reminds me of pure energy. Like there's nothing attached except electrical, static electricity. I don't know. It's just wild stuff. And we've got a lot more wild stuff for you. So buckle up. Let's get to the next video. Take a look. So we have this surveillance camera, basically a doorbell cam, and we're looking at something that is just streaking across at an extreme rate of speed. Some people might even call this some paranormal activity, but look at this. It casts a shadow underneath. It has this bright like orb at the front of it, and this dark shadow, wispy shadow, just it's really bizarre. What are we looking at here? I have no idea, but I want to get your opinions in this live premiere. Everybody watching from around the world. Brent, what's yours?
Yeah, we've been seeing this kind of making the rounds. We've been seeing this kind of footage submitted to Third Phase of Moon recently, and this is new stuff. Again, we're seeing this thing just kind of come in and do this S shape as it kind of moves its way through the camera view, the security cam. And like you said, Blake, we see this cast a shadow reflecting on the pavement, the walkway, and this thing just kind of moves unorthodox. It has no means of normal motion. Why is it darting around and doing these kind of like evasive maneuvers?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I remember, I think it wasn't too long ago when the Ring Cam was putting out $1 million reward for the best paranormal UFO video captured. I don't know. I think we should have won it. We've got like dozens of videos submitted to us from around the world with regards to the phenomenon being captured on the door cam or the ring bell cam, whatever you call it. It is something that is a tool for people to look over their footage and find out what the motion sensor is capturing on their device, because we're looking at something that, again, I can't explain. This shadow mass and this orb of light seems to be energy, and it's unknown to me. Maybe some biological unknown living being that lives on our planet right now. We've got more footage, so take a look at this, everyone.
Here it is. What is it? It's getting closer. Very strange.
All right, this video doesn't last too long, but we're going to do a little bit of enhancement, get a close-up look of whatever this is. Again, we've been sharing the humanoid videos, and they've been coming in for the month of October off the hook. It just seems that they're everywhere now. Is this the new surveillance drone that has been looking over the neighborhoods in America, Brent?
It kind of looks the same because everyone just has remained kind of static. It just holds itself. It doesn't move like your typical balloon. It's not oscillating. It just stays vertical as it slowly drifts through the sky, as a drone would look like, just surveying the area. This is a great extreme close-up here, and we're looking at something that I really can't describe. Does it look like a pack of balloons just hovering up there? In my opinion, they're not acting like balloons. This thing just, like I said, rock solid on a mission.
Yeah, no oscillation, no wavering. It's just it's up there with intelligence, in my opinion. And what's behind it, I have no idea. More videos into Third Phase of Moon of the unknown.
What in the ever-living fuck is that? Oh my god, that's so scary. What is that? I'm not even tripping. Oh, that's so scary. Oh my god. Like, I'm not tripping, right? What is that? That's in our sky right now. I think this is it. I think this is the alien.
What is that? It's a big question. We're looking at this kind of like translucent pink and red object up in the sky, the night sky, as it just rotates as it moves along slowly. This thing looks biological to me, like something you would see in the deep bottom of the ocean, some sort of biological creature with some sort of illuminating light. And this is exactly what people say when they see biological things in the sky. This is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, look at the biolumens on this. It does seem very organic, but then I'm looking at it a little closer too, and some people, and I'm possibly thinking that this could be some kind of portal opening up, a rip or a tear in the sky. I'm just throwing it out there. This rotation is interesting. It has this vortices thing going on, and I thought I just saw a little light just kind of come off of it, but you can see that it almost resembles almost like a manta ray or a jellyfish,
or something you would see like something out of a James Cameron movie, like The Abyss, these underwater creatures that have these exotic looking types to it, where it's uncharacteristic of things that we've ever seen, and we're seeing something floating in the sky that's very abnormal, and this guy's freaking out. He doesn't know what it is, and it's silent.
Yeah, no noise whatsoever, Brent. And obviously from the eyewitness, you could tell it's a genuine video. I don't think there's any CGI or manipulation. We're looking at something up there, and some people might say everything is CGI and everybody's lying and all these UFO videos are fake. Well, that would be the greatest phenomenon ever. Let me tell you, millions of people have seen it, and we're looking at something that is extraordinary, in my opinion. Right now, I haven't seen anything like this over the 15 years right here at Third Phase of Moon of sharing over 20,000 videos from the public. This is the first time I'm actually seeing this, and this is one of my favorite videos for October coming into Third Phase of Moon. Guys, I want to get your opinions right now in this live premiere of what your thoughts is, because We don't have any explanation to it. That's why we're sharing it. And the biological statement that Brent made, it's justifiable. We just don't know what exactly is going on in our skies. And if the government knows or NASA knows, they're certainly not telling us anything. And look, as we look at the tail and this thing, it looks alive. It's crazy stuff. Now, let's get to the next video right now into third phase. Take a look. We've got a major event going on in this video, and we're looking at two major craft in the sky just hovering there. We're not seeing any FAA lights. We were thinking maybe they're airplanes descending into an airport in the city, but again, usually you see FAA lights blinking from right to left, the green and red, and they're basically undeniable when you see it. The anti-collision lights, you can't miss it. We're not seeing it in these videos here. These look like massive illuminated disc just hovering up there, and it was captured by multiple eyewitnesses. Brent, what do you make of this?
Yeah, this is just in from Chile, and these guys over there have multiple sightings of the UFO phenomenon, the OVNI, and they're looking at OVNIs right there hovering above this Chilean city. These things, in my opinion, aren't aircraft coming in for landing. If you look at it, and actually this video lasts for quite some time, we didn't want to just share the whole thing because it's just going to run through the whole episode. These things don't move. They just stay there and hover up in the sky at these weird angles. This almost reminds me of the Phoenix Lights events when this all happened, and they kind of resemble the same thing. These large, maybe triangular craft just hovering in the sky at a slight angle. And if that's the case, these things are massive.
Yeah, they're not hiding in Chile. It seems that they're coming out worldwide. No, they're not hiding anymore. It's just, there's just too much evidence. It's crazy. And like you said, Brent, these things remained stationary. These craft are at least a football field in length, in my opinion. They're absolutely huge, but again, some people might say military flares, and again, military flares don't last this long. You'd see some kind of smoke trails, parachutes, anything like that. We're not detecting it in this video, and again, it's 100% legitimate. So again, when people say CGI, don't jump the gun. We know what we're looking at. Now let's get to the next one right now. Okay, a quick video once again. Sometimes the phenomenon, you only got a little glimpse of moment in time to capture it, and we're looking at it right now. I managed to get a really good close-up. We're gonna bring it up a little closer of what looks to be, again, the classic flying saucer, the disc. They're making a comeback as well. Those flying discs are coming to America once again, over and over. It seems like the 60s, the 40s, it's repeating in right now in 2024 leading up to 2025. Brent, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, the location on this one, Blake, is dead center New York, and we're looking at something that's now in a populated area such as New York, and this disc is flying above this kind of lakeside across a bridge. I don't know what bridge is this. Maybe some people in the chat know or are familiar with this area, but if you've seen this, send this footage to Third Phase, because we're looking at something that definitely resembles a Bob Lazar sports model UFO. And this guy really did a good job because he's driving, getting the shot, and holding a steady enough position for us to get this great close-up right here.
Yeah, actually, when I was doing the enhancement, sometimes it's pretty hard to focus in. The camera's everywhere, but you're exactly right, Brent. Driving and witnessing and filming all this, doing 3-4 things at the same time, and to have a steady hand. Good job on this capture.
This was outside my house last night. So, what is that? I know what it looked like, but I don't want to say what it looked like. But we all know what the hell it looked like. For real. I'm scared, y'all. I need to go back home. It's time for me to go back down south. This was outside my house in Minnesota last night. It's time for me to go. This is an original. B. Monet.
What is that?
A UFO.
But that's not an airplane. That is not an airplane.
People in shock, kids, family, fathers, mothers, they don't know what the heck they're looking at. And that's what we love right here at Third Phase of Moon, sharing you the evidence of the unknown. We can't even explain what we're looking at most of the time. And that's the point. We're looking at something in the sky that resembles the cigar shape, but it's, again, pure energy, blue in nature, this static electricity kind of feeling behind it. Again, no structure whatsoever, just pure energy. What are we looking at is the question. Brett, your thoughts here?
Yeah, the best part about this, Blake, it's been blowing up all over the American sky last night. It was captured all across the country. We saw it in Minnesota. Then we're getting reports out of Colorado. So this is a mass sighting across America, and people are looking up in the sky and they're shocked and awe. We even got more video to confirm the same event that happened yesterday, and we're looking at something that we can't explain. Some people might just throw this out and say, hey, this is Starlink. And I don't think that that's the case, because usually Starlink, the satellites are more separated and sporadic. Sure, they travel in a straight line, but this seems to be a one solid craft.
That's right, Brett. And again, multiple eyewitnesses, multiple videos. So we're going to pull up the next sighting of the exact same event in different parts of the region of North America. But something happened last night. Watch. All right, there was a little bit of music in the background, so we had to lower the audio just a bit, but you could hear the people once again in shock and awe of the unknown. They're looking at something that is being seen across North America in multiple places, basically at the same time. How is that even possible? Unless there's maybe an invasion going on, I dare say it.
Yeah, Blake, you could hear the lady in the background. She's asking where the binoculars are, and I bet you could have got a really good vantage point of it. And she's asking the same question over and over, and you could hear the guy in the background he doesn't know. He says, I don't know. And we don't know what this is, too. This is great footage. The UFO phenomenon is happening fast.
You got kids, you got parents, you got everybody just in awe. And buckle up. We got more videos into Third Phase of Moon. Let's roll it right now. We've seen the phenomenon of what looks to be some kind of craft hovering in the sky, shooting down some green laser beam. Again, new videos coming in of the exact same phenomenon that we shared with you, I think in the past month or two, of this kind of similar sighting of what looks to be, I don't know, an energy weapon. Shoot, man, this is getting crazy here.
Absolutely. We're looking at the close-up when you could see this thing just illuminated in the high skyline there, and then you see the clouds kind of going through this thing. You almost can make out maybe a craft is hidden or cloaked within the clouds itself, shooting down this particular sharp green laser beam straight down towards the city. I believe this took place in China. Is this new technology that's being just kind of put out to the public in plain sight? What are we looking at? Or is this some sort of otherworldly craft making a visit and they're not hiding anymore?
Yeah, it's incredible. You just see it just turn on, and it's really hard to say. Light speed is incredibly fast, so we can't really indicate whether the beam is coming from the ground or from the sky and shooting downwards. Again, upwards, downwards, we don't know. It's just really hard to tell, but it looks like some kind of craft is hovering up there, cloaked behind the cloud layer there, and it looks massive. The lumens behind this requires enormous amount of energy, and what is able to hold something in the sky and have a machine shoot a laser of this extreme brightness. It's just amazing to me, and we have questions about it. I have a bad feeling about what's going on here. I don't think this is friendly, but most likely I think it's ours and not ET, because ET's not going to come to Earth to threaten us, in my opinion. Now, more videos into Third Phase. Let's just roll it right now. We've got a group of people pointing their cameras at the sky, capturing something illuminated. Multiple objects. You see that one little orb to the left, but you have this bright cylindrical object to the right, just hanging in the sky. Again, pure energy. We don't see any kinds of means of manipulation. No CGI, no AI. We're not showing you that in tonight's episode, and if we do see it, we're going to call it out. But we believe all the videos that we share are authentic. The question is, what is it? Brent, lay your thoughts here.
Yeah, you point out that orb kind of to the left of this kind of cigar-shaped illuminated object, but then when you get that close-up, you actually see another orb accompanying the larger UFO. Whatever it is, it caught these people's attention, and everybody's filming it. They're not taking their eyes off of this thing. Could this be something illuminated behind the fog layer, or this thick cloud layer reflecting off something off in the distance that's tethered or structured to the ground? I don't think so. I'm thinking that this is definitely something hovering in the sky, and it's creating this enormous light, the energy off of it. In daytime, to see this so brightly, there's something going on here that just doesn't add up. This is, in my opinion, it's a UFO. It's unidentified, and that's all I got to say.
Absolutely, Brent. But when I'm looking at it, when we get a little closer now, there's one object to the left. You got the main object. Now something just detaches right there at the right. So we have three objects just hanging there. And like you say, Brent, broad daylight, the lumens behind this would be extremely bright, and it is insane what these people captured. Hopefully more of the people on the ground, I could see that they're filming this, maybe even got even closer shots of what they experienced, and reach out to us if you were there that day. Again, people captured something pretty amazing right there. Good stuff. Now let's get to the next video, the phenomenon, whatever you call it, and we're just gonna roll it. Guys, your thoughts on this one?
Qué raro. Il a apagado detrás, ¿ah?
Wow, pretty amazing video coming into Third Phase of what looks to be the infamous TR-3B just hovering over the rooftops of a town, a little city. And it's not trying to hide. It's not even stealthy. It's in your face. And I'm sure a lot of people saw this. Again, I think these encounters, these sightings are becoming more and more bold as the days continue into the future. And I think something's up. I just feel it in my soul that there's something big about to happen. And these UFO videos are proving, because in October, this month has been so crazy with the UFO videos. That's why we're posting every day, because it's just insane of what's really going on. Brent, the TR-3B here?
Yeah, all I gotta say is we don't take any days off, because we live and breathe the UFO phenomenon. We're just trying to get the truth out there. What we're looking at is something definitely strange. It caught, again, this person's attention filming it right above the city there. You see three lights that definitely resemble maybe a whole large craft, and then he sees something on the right escorting it, which I really like that point. It seems like there's no manipulation. This is 100% legitimate footage. And I think the craft, the large one that resembles a TR-3B or whatever it is, seems to be connected as one large aerial vehicle.
Absolutely. We're not seeing any FAA lights. We're not seeing any kind of means of this could be Chinese lanterns or military flares. In my opinion, we're looking at it's a craft. It's huge. You can see it behind the buildings. It's big. So again, something unconventional and seemingly defying the laws of physics here. It's just strange stuff that's happening right now. Let's roll some more of the strangeness. Watch this. Right, the video doesn't last very long, but we're looking at a series of glowing red lights that seems to be some kind of craft in the sky moving from right to left, multiple objects glowing ember red. And is this kind of a forest fire going on to the right? And it's just very strange here.
Yeah, this one's cool because you can see, like Blake just said, that illuminated bright orange, which I believe is some sort of power plant producing some sort of energy, and something's flying by it. Maybe this curiosity of the UFO phenomenon that they go around these controlled areas, power plants, nuclear plants.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time, Brett, to have UFO activity next to nuclear bases, nuclear power plants, military bases. And again, we're seeing something that's very strange. A quick moment of time, but very interesting video into Third Phase. Now, imagine if you saw this playing soccer on the playfield.
Mientras hacemos deporte, estamos apreciando un objeto no identificado. Es un ovni, hijo, es un ovni. Mira de la forma que gira, ¿no te das cuenta? Mira los ruidos. Escucha, mira. Los ruidos que hace.
Oh, right. It's insane. Obviously, the weather phenomenon known as lenticular clouds comes to mind, but we've all seen the movie Nope. And if you could imagine a super stealth craft hiding within a cloud, it would look exactly like this. And we're looking at something that I hope, if you see it, film it and upload it to social media. And let's ask questions later. And let me tell you, these guys are freaking out. I don't blame them. It looks massive, like it's a mothership. Is there a UFO cloaked within this massive saucer-shaped formation in the clouds?
Well, that'd be pretty exciting to just fly right in there and see it, knock on it, and see if it's solid. I'm not sure. What I'm looking at is something that, in my opinion, again, is just a really awesome weather phenomenon that you don't see all the time. And this woman's filming it, and it looks so classic, like your typical flying saucer out of a Hollywood movie. That's why I like it. The big point, like everybody, they make those statements that they think that UFOs could be hidden within these shapes of clouds. And if that's the case, they're pretty much revealing themselves right there.
Yeah, from what I heard about this video, and we've seen that kind of phenomenon here on the Big Island, we might share that video tomorrow in tomorrow's episode. These things remain stationary for sometimes 8 to 11 to 12 hours. And some of this doesn't make any sense. And again, like in the movie Nope, that thing just didn't move that cloud for like 2 weeks. So when you're looking at this, again, always film, keeping an open mind, and just don't forget to, question, ask what's going on with your friends, family, and get them out there and say, UFO, look, something's up there. Again, more videos, and this one's very bizarre. Watch this. Some people call it the spike UFO. Some people call it the biological UFO. Some people just call it bizarrio. I don't know. There's all kinds of names for the phenomenon, and people even get really excited about seeing something like this. But if I were to see this hanging over me, I'd be a little concerned. Look at this. We're doing a little bit of enhancement. We're going to wipe it with AI and clean it up. My God. Is this it's real, but it boggles the mind. This thing's up in the sky, off at a distance, hovering, and with the technology now that we could enhance some of the imagery to really make whatever it is pop so we get a better look at it. It brings these details that kind of makes me a little concerned.
Yeah, this is a shit, especially the enhanced version. Almost the AI wipe, you don't even need it because you're seeing all this great detail in this UFO that kind of reminds me of origami. But here's a wipe once again using an AI filter, and if that's real, and these are the things that are flying in our skies.
Are you serious right now?
What is that?
It's getting closer to. What the fuck is that?
What are you looking at? There's a dot following that plane.
We're looking at something quite extraordinary, and welcome to Third Phase of Moon. We've got a lot of UFO videos tonight, but we're looking at something, and it only happens in a moment of time, but we're looking at a commercial airliner being flanked by some kind of unknown craft. People are looking up into the sky. We're looking at something legitimate. The question is, what's flanking this commercial airliner? Is it a UFO?
Yeah, what I like about this, again, he only had seconds of opportunity to film this thing, and he catches it right at the last second. Perfect. Yeah, it gives us just the right amount of evidence that we can look over, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing some sort of something trailing this plane. I'm not sure if it's a commercial airliner. It could be maybe a private airliner too as well. It seems a little bit more compact than your normal commercial airliner, but we're having something that's trailing this right at the tip of it, and in my opinion, this is 100% legitimate footage. What is this thing? I don't think it has anything to do with this thing being higher or lower than the airplane itself. Whatever this object is, I'm thinking it's the same altitude as this plane.
Yeah, whether it's a private jet or, you know, a massive aircraft in the sky, we're getting some side-by-side comparison. I would imagine that this is looking like the size of the Tic Tac, and it's right behind it. What is its intentions? I have no idea, but we want to get your thoughts in this live premiere right here at Third Phase of Moon. And remember, we're the ones that broke the news with the the American Airlines with this supposed cruise missile or some kind of unknown object just shooting over the pilot's head, and they didn't know what it was. We broke that news, and we're breaking more right now. Take a look at this.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Not kidding. I can't zoom in any further, but with my eyes I can see it. It's a fucking sphere.
Right, this video lasts for about 7 minutes.
Okay,
we're just going to roll it and let you take a close look. We just want to roll it now, so watch this.
Oh my fucking god. Not kidding. I can't zoom in any further, but with my eyes I can see it. It's a fucking sphere. Okay, I've been watching this thing for maybe 4 or 5 minutes now. It has not moved. It's a sphere. That's as far as I can zoom in. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's not moving. That's the boat moving under it, for reference. Barcelona. Time is, I don't even know, I can't see the time. I think it's about 6:30 p.m. Holy fuck. Okay, video number 4, just to show this thing's hovering. It's come back down to like sea level again. So we saw how high it was. It's come back down and just fucking hovering. I'm just going to keep recording just in case something crazy happens. What the fuck? Got bigger again, so I think it moved back this way. And now it looks like it's about to go on the fucking water. Oh my god! I have no idea. It's like video number 5. It's going lower and lower. It's getting further away as well. Maybe tilting slightly, I don't know. further away. It's getting harder to see with the naked eye. But it's definitely, it looks like it's getting lower or further away. I don't know. Cannot zoom in anymore. Oh, is it blazing again? It's definitely going up in the air again. Definitely. Oh, yep, it's going up. No one else seems interested in it, so I don't know if I'm the only person who spotted it, or I'm just fucking mad, but to me it looks absolutely crazy. So now we've seen it lower, and we're watching it raise up again. It's further away. Definitely like sort of stayed in the same straight line, raised up and gone down a couple of times, but I'm to get this off, holding this up. We're gonna get a boat come across our view in a second. Let's see. Do something. Looked like a cube because when it was a little bit closer before to the naked eye, you can see like a elliptical shadow at the bottom, clearly, and then shiny on the top.
So people complain about the videos don't last too long, and in this case, about 5 angles. This guy's been watching it for some time, and it's just hanging up in the air. Is it the Glock? Is it the cube? We're not exactly sure, but that's why we're here. We want to get your opinions right now, and we're looking at something that obviously it's up in the sky, and we have no explanation to what it is. Again, a lot of videos coming into Third Phase of Moon, and I just can't believe what we've just been noticing for the past 6 minutes here. Just raw, and it seems metallic. Brent, quickly before we get to the next video.
Yeah, this is unadulterated footage, and that's what I like. It's playing it all out, and we see this thing. It looks metallic. It looks large. I don't think this is some sort of parasailer, but anyway, more UFO videos. Check this out.
All right, Brent, when I was looking at this video, I was thinking it could be some kind of rocket launch or maybe some celestial event, some meteorite burning up in our atmosphere. But again, it's weird. It's just hanging up there. It's not really moving. It's not dimming out. We're looking at something that is like a fireball, but just stationary with this trail behind it. It really doesn't make much sense here.
Yeah, we've been in LA. We've seen Elon Musk rocket launches, and sometimes, in my opinion, it can look like this right in the beginning stages of the rocket launch, and then it goes into all sorts of different stages as it separates and creates this visual aspect of gases hitting the atmosphere. And maybe it hasn't quite done that yet. This woman only had a certain amount of opportunity to film something, so we're not seeing the full effect of maybe a rocket launch. But if this is something different, which it possibly could be, like you say, a celestial event or something otherworldly, I don't know, but she's in the right mind to film this because she doesn't know what this is, and that's the best part. That's why we're sharing it at Third Phase, and we just want everybody's opinion on what we're looking at here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get to the next video. I think people are going to be amazed about what they're about to see right now. Take a look. Okay, what the heck is going on here? If this is the biggest lightning storm, water spout video all at once, just doing crazy weather along the coast here. I'm looking at something that's unbelievable.
Yeah, this is what people may say plasma lightning, and we're seeing it in its full effect, maybe the best effect that we've ever seen in Third Phase of Moon's history. Or could this maybe be some sort of AI generated video? It's getting kind of crazy out there, so it's a little bit harder to detect, but this one we just wanted to share because it kind of has this real effect to it. But hey, I'm still leaning, people just sent this to us, they want to know, so that's why we're sharing it. What do you guys think in the chat room? Because I'm still a little bit on the fence, but if this is indeed real, we're looking at Mother Nature at its best display.
Yeah, exactly, Brent. I'm looking at this, and we don't have the source to the person who shot it or the location. In most of the videos, pretty much 95%, 99% of the videos on Third Phase Moon, with regards to what we're sharing, we could track the source down. This one, I'm still leaning possible AI, but if the weather's getting crazy like this, we're in for a wild ride. Let's just put it that way. Now, let's get to the next UFO video, and we believe this one to be 100% authentic. So let's roll it. We looked at it very closely. So massive storm, thunderstorm, lightning striking, and it almost seemed to reveal some kind of massive craft hidden in the clouds. But we're looking at something that's very faint, but you see these little orbs of light coming from the cloud layer down into the city. And I'm thinking, I'm getting some information that this was shot in China, but again, let's repeat this video in just a moment. But look at these little orbs descending down into the city, and some people are speculating that it's coming from a massive mothership hidden within the cloud layer. Do you see it right there?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Right in the beginning of the video, you see this dark, massive object kind of within the clouds. Definitely a crisp, dark shadow, and it seems to have sharp edges. And the interesting part about it is, like you said, we see these orbs kind of disseminating from top and left to right of this whatever craft may be in the sky. And these things are coming down fast. They're not like zigzagging like commercial traffic. These things are like just directly coming down to the ground as if it looks like almost an invasion of something hiding in the clouds. Right when that lightning strikes, you're gonna see it again, just hidden up there, if that's what it is. Here it comes. Look.
Yeah, could it be some kind of atmospheric distortion, maybe a lens glitch? Some optical digital issue going on here, because I know lightning could create issues with cameras and their sensors, and maybe that's what we're looking at. But again, the activity is very ominous when you have what looks to be a large mothership, and then these little orbs seem to be descending exactly where that massive dark possible huge craft above the city, cloaked above the city skyline, hidden within the cloud layer. It's just something to think about. I think we're being surrounded, and sometimes we just can't see it. They've obviously have mastered stealth. Now let's get to the next video coming in to Third Phase of Moon. Hit that thumbs up for the UFO content coming in.
Yo, look at that helicopter! It's over here. You don't see the helicopter. It's on top. Oh, look at that shit. Oh, this shit is in the middle. What the fuck is going on? What's going on?
Yeah, this is an interesting video that just came in. It was taken in Bronx, New York, and this girl's in her apartment building filming something right outside, pretty close. She's got to shoot through her screen. Unfortunately, you can see the camera go in and out of focus, but right in the beginning, we're seeing definitely a helicopter that's surrounding these orbs of light that just seem to be stationary, and there could be more reports on the ground. This is just kind of early information because, again, this just happened last night, and this woman may have captured something amazing.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is the NYPD and their helicopter surrounding the unknown. We've had many videos coming in from LA with regards to this exact same kind of encounter. I want to get in touch with the pilot who was surrounding this. It wasn't the first time that Third Phase Moon has done investigation to speak with these eyewitness pilots with regards to their close encounter. So give us a couple days. Maybe we'll have an update what's going on in Bronx, New York. I imagine there's going to be some more updates.
What's going on? What is that?
But look over there, there's a circle on that's the actual cloud. Yeah. It's like a missing puzzle piece or something.
What is going on here with these clouds?
All right, guys, welcome to Third Phase Moon, and we've seen punch hole cloud phenomenon before, but this is off the hook. We've seen one or two in the sky, and we've shared it. It's amazing stuff, but when you see this kind of activity of the punch hole phenomenon, something strange is happening.
Yeah, this is fun. We love the weather phenomenon right here at Third Phase. If anybody captures this kind of event, anything that involves the weather that's just super strange, hey, share it with us because this is great. We're looking at something that is rarely seen. I've never seen this in person. So this is, again, a phenomenon that needs to be captured and recorded for prosperity.
Yeah, the weather phenomenon, or is it weather manipulation, is the big question. Now, we're going to share it to you right in just a second, is another weather phenomenon known as the crown flash, and we got a new one. All right, we're going to get some close-up looks at this incredible capture. Years ago, I think Third Phase Moon was the first to break this kind of weather phenomenon. We broke the news, known as the crown flash, but we're looking at this, and again, there's no CGI, no AI in this video. This is actually an amazing array of craziness. Again, weather manipulation, if this is so rare, which is interesting, like I think there's only a handful on the internet of these kind of videos, and we shared them with you first, but this is the latest of the weather phenomenon. I'm stoked. It's just unbelievable to look at this kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is just coming from the Philippines, and you can hear the people on the ground. They're super excited capturing this real-time event as it just happens in front of them. And you can just see it. It starts to arc and then touch base to the other point of the clouds, and then just does this kind of a whiplash, kind of a bullwhip kind of motion. It's incredible just the action that's being produced up there in the clouds. You can see this kind of wisp of smoke or condensation, I could say, up on the right side as it kind of drifts, and then it just kind of wants to connect itself and create this like arcing, amazing phenomenon that is rarely seen on this planet. This is good.
Yeah, imagine being a pilot, commercial airline pilot, and you come across this crown flash, or as we call it, the bullwhip effect. You're gonna see or feel something quite amazing. And again, I think this kind of phenomenon's actually picking up, and maybe for a reason, because what we're looking at is just very bizarre. The weather phenomenon and its activation, it seems like it has been activated, or somebody turned on the switch. I don't know. Something's up, but.
Yeah, something's definitely up. It does seem like you just said, the activity, the hurricanes, everything seems to be intensifying around the planet. And again, I think these are going to be more common, especially these crown flashes, punch holes, the lightning, and just the whole phenomenon of weather. It produces itself. And when you're seeing it, you need to pull out the camera and film this. What kind of energy, like again, if you're up there, would you feel the impact of this kind of a bullwhip effect? I would imagine. So I'm sure it'd be tremendous. More UFO videos coming up. Now check this one.
All right, this video has been making the rounds on the internet. We wanted to share it with you. Basically, people are stating that this is a fleet of UFOs. I count like maybe almost a dozen, just these bright illuminated discs just hovering there, like it's an invasion. I'm looking at this a little closer. Obviously, if you see this, you might think that there is something strange. And I want to get your thoughts in this live premiere, what you guys think it is. Brent, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, there's two things that catch me, and one thing, you can hear the audio in the background. In my opinion, this person isn't on a hillside. I think they're in a hotel room and they're shooting through this glass, and you can hear the hollowness of when the woman talks. She's compartmentalized within a chamber, and I think she's filming something, and she knows that it looks like UFOs, but you can see even the parallax of these bright disc-like objects. When she zooms in, things seem to move separately than these objects being far off in the distance. Again, I'm thinking this, in my opinion, is something from within, and it's reflection of lights from within this compartment.
Yeah, looking from like a hotel balcony or a hotel room, and you got the windows or the screen door windows closed, and there's these lights in a hallway behind you or in your room, and I guess, in my opinion, I think you're right, Brent. We're gonna have to roll this reflection. I'm not seeing indicators that these craft are off in a distance, because it does sound like it is in a hollow chamber. But hey, maybe we're wrong here. Maybe there is a fleet of UFOs, and we believe that our sky and our skies around the world are filled with them. So we want to get your thoughts on this latest breaking news video that's kind of making the rounds. But in my opinion, we're going to dub this reflection, and we want to get yours. Brett, any last words on this before we get to the next UFO video?
Yeah, you can see the lights more farther off. The smaller they are, they don't move and parallax as much, but the bigger ones in the front and the left to the right, you can see it kind of oscillate, revealing the mirror effect. So we're going to roll this out, but let's just hope that this is real. But anyway, we're going to move on to better stuff. We're just getting started right here at Third Phase of Moon, so smash that thumbs up and get ready for this new UFO video, because it has us kind of scratching our heads.
Yeah, let's roll it. And again, this video is legit. It's just, I think, an optical illusion in our opinion. But again, leave your comments now. Let's roll the next one right now.
It looks like a UFO, right? That's a UFO. Christian. Just stay right there. Look, it's just above there.
Are you recording it?
Yeah. That's a UFO. You can just see it.
Just keep recording it.
It's only on YouTube. It won't take spikes.
Right, we're gonna look at this a little closer. I'm adding a little brightness contrast. A family, mother, daughter, friends, family, they're just driving down the road at night and they see something strange off in the distance and they start filming. And I don't blame them, because this looks like some kind of massive craft just heading right towards them. But again, I'm thinking that this is most likely some kind of airplane trying to make landing, and we're looking at its headlights. But then these people are tripping. They're freaking out. Are they seeing something that we're not here, Brent? They were there. It's hard to, they're seeing it with their own eyes.
That's true, but even this video kind of reveals just a normal flight pattern of maybe a commercial airliner or something smaller, just heading your way. And if you don't know exactly where things are positioned in the sky, it might lead you to believe that this thing's just floating up there on its own accord and not moving, because it kind of does look that way. But in my opinion, again, this is more of a airliner. You could even see some maybe FAA lights blinking off this thing and the green bulb on top of it. Yeah, this is definitely airplane, but they're super excited, and they might believe they've seen a UFO all their life because of this one encounter, and that's okay. We need to get the word out and share these UFO videos as they come in.
Yeah, those green lights pretty much indicate anti-collision for sure, and in my opinion, it's commercial. Now, let's get to something very strange that's coming into third phase, and we want to get your opinions on this. All right, we're going to get a little closer on these multiple objects in the sky. Again, the public is, I think they're on edge right now. There's so much activity and people are looking up and their cameras are ready and they're filming, and I'm happy they are. And we're looking at something that in this case, I can't explain what's going on. You look at the illumination coming off these individual orbs of light. Some people might say they're seagulls or some birds up there, but again, I never heard of a bird glowing in broad daylight. That's all I'm saying. Look at that. It's insane.
Yeah, this is a nice observation. The fleet of UFOs that are kind of like this bright, kind of pinkish golden color as they just move across the sky. This girl, she captured something incredible, and it's a phenomenon. This is a UFO, and I like this one because I can't explain what I'm looking at. Hey everybody, hit that thumbs up. We're just getting started with the UFOs coming up, so smash that thing. You know what to do. Smash that thumbs up. Next video coming up, check this out.
All right, I like this a lot. The broad daylight cylindrical object just hanging there for everybody to see, and some people might just say this is a blimp, but we're going to get some close-ups and we're going to slow the video down, and we're going to give you indicators that this is absolutely not any kind of conventional blimp that I'm aware of. Look at it, actually morphed in shape and then has this cylindrical metallic sheen on it, and it's massive. It's going behind those massive palm trees behind there, so I'm indicating that this is at least 200, maybe 300 feet in length.
Yeah, that might be a little over exaggerating on the size of it, maybe about 60 to 50 feet, but if you're right, it's huge. It kind of looks like a lightsaber, and you can see it just go behind the tree line over there as it comes in from left to right. In my opinion, it's rotating, and maybe it's caught in this heavy wind and it's kind of being affected by it, but it has this nice flight pattern of stability. I like this.
Guys, I want to get your thoughts on this one. Again, in broad daylight, and Brent's observation there is quite accurate. It looks like it rotates and then reforms, and then you see the elongated version. So it's definitely has a cigar feeling to it. Battle for disclosure, it's happening right now. And we spoke with Dr. Stephen Greer, Sean Ryan, Billy Carson, the Honorable Tim Burchett, among many other whistleblowers. And the trailer is out, and it will be dropping December 10th, 2024. The first documentary this year to be on all streaming platforms. Let's roll the trailer. Everybody stick around. We've got more UFO videos right after this.
You don't know that at the very top, that whole project is being run illegally.
These are brand new witnesses, and they've got bombshell information to talk about.
These technologies are unsanctioned. They are illegal operations, and this can be proven in any court of law.
It's like, wow, nobody's coming after us. We're gonna do this until we can get away with it.
They would have so much control over everything if they had that.
If this information was all released, it could fall into the wrong hands.
They're using security as a cover for illicit or illegal or even treasonous activities.
The members of Congress didn't have the detailed information of the precise location.
Where they keep the bodies, the craft, the debris, all the evidence that we've been searching for the last 80 years.
He knew how to keep a secret. Secrets were his stock and trade.
They are literally making their own money to fund their own projects.
We have a source currently in the deep black world.
It doesn't matter if you're president of the United States, you're not going to talk about that.
There was this large monolithic slab. Looked like it was elevated off of the ground.
It is traumatic.
Look, this is the most top secret shit you've ever heard of.
December 10th, 2024, Battle for Disclosure. Buckle up for that. All kinds of bombshell drops in that documentary. You're going to be mind blown. We appreciate everybody joining us in tonight's episode right here at Third Phase of Moon. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. And if you captured anything amazing, submit it to us right here at Third Phase. My email is in the description. Be safe. We'll see you next time. We'll catch you all later.